Greetings and welcome to Stunthangar Video Hangouts. My name is Charles Carter and I'll be your host this evening. I want to extend to you my gratitude for you watching Stunthangar Video Hangouts. If you are watching this as a replay, I want you to know that I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please make a note so you can watch or be part of the live stream. Plus, we have an after party following the live stream, which is sometimes better than the live stream portion. You must be a registered Stunthangar Forum member to find the link to be part of the live stream and the following after party. Now, here at Stunthangar Video Hangouts, we talk about building and flying model airplanes, sport flying, competition flying, and what you've been doing lately. To join our conversation, if you are already a member of Stunthangar Forum, you can find the link if you scroll down to the section called At the Bench. Now, if you're not a member or not logged into Stunthangar, the At the Bench link will not appear. If you are not a member of Stunthangar Forum, please register at stunthangar.com/SMF. That's stunthangar.com/SMF. That means that's SMF is Smart Men Flying. That's courtesy of Jeff Riley. You must place a space between your real first and last name when you register. You must also use a valid email address or Sparky. The proprietor of Stunthangar will not approve you. If you're inclined to not come in, just enjoy watching this on YouTube, wonderful, fantastic. Please enter your questions or comments in the chat box, and I'll do my best to make your comments or questions part of the show. Now, understand, sometimes I can't get a word in myself. So be patient, as I will ask our illustrious panel your question or state your comments. By the way, you only can make your comments or questions known during a live stream. So like I said, every Monday and Friday evening, starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, when I start the show. If you find the Stunthangar Video Hangouts that I host, or the many building and flying and contest coverage and at John's Garage type of programs that Sparky does on this platform, informative and enjoyable, please give us a thumbs up. I mean, a like. That's what a thumbs up is a like. Subscribe. And when you subscribe, hit the notification bell and select all so that whether myself or Sparky comes on, you will be notified. Share the videos, comments also help the Stunthangar YouTube channel grow. Please consider joining Stunthangar's YouTube channel memberships by hitting the join button below, starting at just $4.99 a month, which is less than 17 cents a day. 17 cents a day. I mean, if you didn't go to Starbucks and get their fancy latte, you could use that to support this hobby. I'm just asking for everybody to do it. I do it myself. I have $4.99 come out of my checking account every month, and I don't miss it, and you won't miss it either. So please really consider doing that. You can also support us by using the super chat, which is located at the bottom of the chat box, which is over here. And you can donate whatever amount you want for that. And the more, the merrier, please. We need your support. Now, your support, it helps offset some of the expenses of running Stunthangar. And with your memberships, you get special badges that that Sparky and I can see in the YouTube chat box, and John Jordan too, if he's looking, he can see the ones who are what I like to call paid patrons, and we appreciate you, and we need more of you. Okay, so you help offset some of the expenses, and plus with your memberships, you get, along with that special emoji we can recognize as a patron, unlimited replay of member-only videos. And once a month, Sparky has a question and answer show for, members only, okay? Now, this is Sparky's YouTube channel. I'm only in here twice a week. So if you want to get in touch with me, go to my YouTube channel, which is called Flying Control Line Stunt. That's Flying Control Line Stunt. And when you go there, look for the 2019 AMA National Championship video and post your comment or a question there. And because, see, this channel is not my channel. But if I send you to my channel and you go there, and if you use that video link I just gave you, the 2019 AMA National Championship video, I will be notified and I'll be able to respond to you quickly. And by the way, that video is my first official flight at the AMA National Championships. And Sparky shot that video of me flying his beautiful Junar XL. So it's a chance for you to see how I can fly, and some of the planes that you see Sparky build on this channel, you get a chance to see how well they fly under my control, which I had very little experience with that plane. That plane was a fantastic flying plane. I really held the lines, the reins really tight, and I didn't let it do what it probably could have done. So, but anyways, when you do that, I'll be notified quickly and I'll be able to get back to you right away. So I want to thank you for your past, present, and future support. You are making it happen. Please keep your conversations family room friendly. In other words, please don't use words or do things you wouldn't do around your children or grandchildren. And without any further ado, I'm going to post a link now at Stunthangar Forum. And that's just how you would get into the show if you was interested. You need to go to the stunthangar.com website, and there's a thing called At the Bench. If you're logged in, like I said earlier, I'm posting a link now. Okay, it's posted. And so you look for the link with today's date, and then that'll bring you right in here. And I'm going to go to what I call the control panel of Sparky's channel. Let me go there and see what's going on. Let's see here. Just give me a moment here. I probably clicked the wrong button. Let's see where this takes me. My computer's running a little bit slow, so just bear with me. Oh, here we go. This will work. Hope everybody had a good week so far this week. You're heading into the weekend. I know we got just doused with rain. Unbelievable amounts of rain. Unbelievable. Let's see here. I'm sorry. I'm taking the long way here. Oh, let me start over. Come on. Let's see. Hey, what's up, Bob? I'll be right there. Let me get to the control panel.
You betcha.
This month features your fleet. I got to show a picture of that momentarily.
You're humbling me.
Yeah, well, you know, it's great. I've been meaning to have a picture of my fleet. I just haven't gotten around to it. Just know this.
Actually, that's only a small sampling of what I have. But
yeah, that's what I keep running into. It's like this is not all the planes, and so I haven't taken a picture. I have a few shots of my individual planes. Okay, now I'm in the control panel. I made a wrong turn. Let's see here. All right, there's looks like we have, well, we had 12. Now we have 11 concurrent viewers and 7 likes. So if you have,
I got to give you a like too. Just a sec here.
If you haven't hit the like button, please smash that like button. That really would help us in a little way. I mean, we need more YouTube memberships. We need more viewers. We need more everything. Please show us some love. Help this thing. I hope you love as much as I do. Help it continue to grow. And so we have 8 likes now. And let me see. Jeff Riley, he says, "Hey Charles, like button smashed." There we go. And those jammies look pretty comfy.
I see though you're wearing the Friday night uniform. You got a plaid lumberjack type shirt on.
Yeah, this is not a pajama, but it looks like a jammy, huh? Oh my goodness. Yes, it's not. I don't wear this. This is not a pajama. It's a shirt. Anyways, it's okay. It's all right, Jeff. And then Jeff Riley goes, "Hey Charles, like button smash. Those jammies look pretty comfy. Yeah. Anyways, they're not jammies. Okay. Anyways, Mark Lumen says liked. Thank you, Mark. I think that means you hit or like, I think you gently push the like button. All right. So, and Sparky's in the house. Fantastic. So now let me close this thing in front of me and I'll give you guys my undivided attention. Let's see here. All right. Great. And Tom is coming in. I don't know if that's Tom Greasy or Tom Rammel. I know Tom Greasy has told Steve that he would come in. And anyways, how you doing, guys? What's going on with you guys?
Same shit, different day.
Bob, you was going to say something to me earlier, but I was busy trying to find the control panel.
That's okay. I'm still trying to get it changed from Mini 4 to me.
You're Tom Rammel. I know Tom Greasy has told Steve that he would come in. Anyways, how you doing, guys? What's going on with you guys?
Good.
Hey, Mark, I think you
Shit, different day.
Hey guys, exactly.
Someone has an extra tab open. Can you please? It's causing a loop. I was going to say something to me earlier, but I was busy trying to find the control panel.
That's okay. I'm still trying to get it changed.
All right, thank you, whoever it was.
I don't know.
All you guys had a good poker face. I can't tell who was the guilty party.
It may have been me. I just had a bunch of tabs open. So it was probably me. Since it quit and I closed the other tabs, I think it was me.
Thank you very much.
Guilty as charged.
Yeah. I just know I'm innocent because I was first on and there was no problem.
That's right. That's right. I'm going to show the Stunthangar video calendar. We have a new inductee for March. Let me make myself big. Spotlight for everyone. So this is our guy Robert Whitley up in Canada, and this is
Afghanistan.
This is a partial sampling of his fleet. If I remember correctly, there's a SV11 in there. There's a Flight Streak. And what's the other two, Bob?
An RST and a smoothie.
Smoothies. This is for March. And this is available to anybody. You just got to get in your pictures to Gary Sinclair if he will do it for us again. And so this is yours truly here. Not me, but Bob Whitley, who's in here with us right now. And there's Gerald. Here's the guy. Gary, excuse me. Here's Gary, the guy that actually does the calendar for us.
Gary.
Hey,
Hey, Gary. Thanks again.
yeah.
Thanks for coming in.
I found some bling for the Hellcat this week. Actually, I've been looking for some. I wanted to put some Japanese flags on the side, like kill flags.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Let me spotlight. Did you find some?
Well, I did. They're decals, but I was thinking, okay, well, I can just paint them, but holy crap, that'd be small to paint. Yeah. But I found some decals at a local hobby shop here up in, near Detroit, actually. So I'll get that and found my little bullet spinner. So I think that's one little thing at a time,
Yeah.
Like I said, I want to get some ink lines done, but I got to get I got to order one of the pins to do it right. I think, I believe so. Unless Sparky, unless you guys have another source other than those radiograph pins, that's probably would end up the best, I guess.
What do you think, Sparky?
Repeatograph is what I use.
Yeah.
And don't ever loan them out.
They tend to come back slow or never come back, right?
They tend to come back solid if they come back.
Yeah, okay.
And buy an alternate cleaner.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. let's see what I can open up here and see if I got didn't get to do much work or no work this week, but that's in the plans.
Regarding the repeating graph pins, you want to make sure you get the ink that's for film.
Yeah, read only stuff. I think they're, at least at one point they called India ink. Is that somewhat close?
Yeah, it's India ink.
Okay.
All right, good.
Well, I thought I had a picture of the ones I got, but I don't, but that's okay. Yeah. They're little decals. I just want to get a little touch of dope on it, make sure the clear is not, they're water slide decals. So I just want to do a little test first. So I don't cross my eyes and get them on there. And then when I shoot clear of it, they disintegrate.
Yeah.
Well, we've had continuing horrible weather here. We just got a big dump of snow last night. It was low IFR for the last 2 days. So last 3 months practically. So I got a whole pile done in the shop, but nothing on models because my shop is a disaster now with redoing it all. But I got my new workbench done if you guys want to see it.
Yeah, I'd like to see that. Wow, that's
Yeah.
great.
First the camera here.
Make it big there. Wow, that looks nice.
Yeah, so I just skirted it with some pine and painted it. I hate working with pine. I had a bunch of that garbage in the shop, so I thought I'd use it up rather than store it. And then I did it on a stainless steel surface work stand that I had. And I had to do quite a bit of modifications to the leg to get it the same height as my workbench and table saw. It has a 2-inch maple top on it, so I had to router in for the legs an inch there and then lob off an inch at the bottom just to get it. I didn't want to take it all off the bottom or I wouldn't be able to sweep under it. So that gives me a really nice working surface. That's actually some kind of industrial display door. So it's 1/2 inch thick slab, 32 by 75, and it's dead flat. So should work out pretty good.
Yeah, that's good. I like all the lines on it. You can use those for reference, right?
Yeah, that was the whole idea. I did a red center line and then horizontal and lines, and then at 3-inch spacing, and then the lines edge to edge. I did those in 2-inch spacing, just not super accurate. I wasn't fussing about that too much. It's just wanted square references for quick layout.
You know, I was visiting a friend of mine in Arizona several years ago. He actually, his bench, he got, the lanes for bowling. There was a bowling alley that went out of business. And so he bought a couple of lengths, not full length, but he bought some lengths of the bowling alleys, the lanes, which is nice and flat. And that was a beautiful bench.
That's a real traditional way of getting a good workbench. People have been doing that for decades.
That was the first I ever heard of that.
Yeah, and in those bowling alleys too, they're all old. So that's a lot of that. Some of that's original growth, old growth wood too. So it's, and the really good lanes, they put them all in quarter sawn. So incredibly stable. Yeah. Another source is that some of the old schools and stuff in the gyms, they had the solid maple floors too.
Now, Tom, hey, John Miller. I know that Tom Morris, he got some wood from, I think, from the military. Forgot what it was originally purposed for, but I remember most of his shop had some wood from I forgot what the wood was, but nice stable wood.
Yeah. I'll show you the other project I was working on too in a sec here.
Okay. Hey, John, I was speaking to Jim Rhodes, and he might come in, he might not. He's getting ready to go to VSC, but he sounded pretty good. He's looking forward to going to the Vintage Stunt Championships. He's packing and getting things ready for sale and all that.
Yeah, I talked to him the other day on the phone, and he sounded pretty much like the old Jim.
Yeah, we we didn't have a short conversation.
You never have a short conversation with Jim.
I'm glad you said it for me. I didn't want to say that.
Oh, John, I've got some bad news for you.
I didn't do it.
John up here doesn't have any Coverite transparent yellow. He said, good luck finding that. He's got some, he thinks he has some that's a very close match though of a different brand, if that might work for you.
Oh, you know, I'm interested. The reason I'm interested in that transparent yellow Coverite is it looks like dyed silk span, you know, when you got it on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if it looks like that, I'd be or has that type of a look, I'd be definitely interested in it.
When I'm down there in the next couple of weeks, I'll take a look and see, and maybe pop you a picture of it or something.
That'd be very thankful for that.
Yeah. So if you guys want to see my new drill press table, I got that here too.
You have a drill press table?
Well, I made a cabinet for it actually.
Very cool. Let me spotlight you for everybody.
That's the advantage of being a cabinet maker.
Yeah. look
No,
at
I've got
that.
a full floor stand drill press with all kinds of accessories, and I've had this table, auxiliary table with a fence I got hung up behind. I've had that for years. It works great, but the storage underneath it and where to keep all the drill stuff, and like you see, my cross slide vise, and I've got my all the drill bits for my big set there. Anyway, all the other stuff, I just didn't have room for it, because I was always lifting in and out of cabinets and trays. So I haven't got all the dividers in that I want yet, but
Very nice.
I just dovetailed some Baltic birch drawers and started just throwing stuff in there for now till I get the dividers done. And these are all Forstner bits in there. And then all those boxes are Forstner bits up to 4-inch. And then spare drill bits that come with stuff. In here, just more, there's ship's auger bits and drill guides and whatnot.
Oh my goodness.
Here is a line bore for my drill press for drilling multiple holes. And this here is a fairly fancy dowel drilling jig. This is kind of like the top of the line one. So incredibly accurate.
Wow,
And then there's my old dowel drilling jig that I'd actually made in shop class way back when. And just some more miscellaneous. So I haven't really fully stocked it yet, but it's going to be a great addition to the shop. And I also made it with these studs here. And what drops on that is that's a pocket hole drilling jig. And I also have the fancy router porter cable dovetailing jig that I made all the drawers with, actually. Those are all dovetailed. And that also sits on there. So I get multi-use out of it, and I can just roll it right out of the way for if I need full height on the drill press.
Whoa,
I
that's
haven't put
impressive.
these are the drawer fronts in kit form. They're just repurposing some old cabinet doors and drawer fronts I made a long time ago.
I see Angstrom is gloved up there, so he's working on something.
So, Bob, how are you going to make dividers for those drawers? What are you going to? I mean, there's no slot.
Oh, I'm going to use a variety of means. I'll take some maple blocks and drill them out for all of my big Forstner bits, and I might use some magnetics. For now, for just holding stuff in, I just took a whole bunch of old vitamin bottles and whatever and chopped the tops off with my miter saw and just did a rough sort that way. But I'll make up whatever sort of dividers, whether trays or vertical, that I need for everything.
Very
And
cool.
then all those finger jointed maple boxes that the bits are in now, I'll probably take the guts out of them and give them to my wife for her crafts room.
Very nice. Very nice.
So
what
it's,
scares me about all
a
this-
shop is always a work in progress.
What scares me about all this, he's got a shop that nice and his wife's got a shop. How big is that house?
Small. We're just very efficient in layout. my wife's really big into into knitting. In fact, some of the stuff that she's done test knitting for friends of hers that do it professionally. Some of her stuff has been on the cover of Vogue Knitting magazine, actually.
Wow.
Wow. That's neat.
And
My wife is in the
she's
knitting
really
too.
gotten
I know
into
what that
the
means.
antique circular sock knitting machines that hand crank. Her first one dates to 1889. Her new one is about 1924.
Wow.
And so I do the servicing on those and whatnot. And I actually overhauled a really nice machine for one of the local pioneer museums. But so it's just another hobby of mine, is tinkering and restoring things like that for museums. And anyway, so she's got that. She started into spinning her own wool too. So she's getting pretty good at that. So yeah, we tend to keep busy. You know, lockdown, isolation. She worked at home anyway. If I was at home, big deal. I just hide in the shop.
So where are you getting your wool for spinning?
She gets the rough wool. I forget what they call it. Just the sheets of the rough wool. There's a variety of sorts. You know, with the professional association she has with who she does the test knitting for. I mean, they get in all kinds of wool that they have custom spun anyway. So some of it's from there, some of it's just from people that are really into spinning and they got a surplus, or same as modeling. You know, somebody dies and there's an estate of a bunch of stuff to get rid of. So, you know, it's very similar, really.
I'll tell you, one of the best, warmest set of mittens I ever had was sheared wool on the inside. You know, and it had the lambskin on the outside, but on the palm it had a regular calf skin. You know, on the palm, and it came up about just a little above my wrist. Boy, those things were warm. At 40 below, they were as good as, in my estimation, they're as good as, and probably better than goose down.
Well, she did some knitting for a friend of ours. We'll get back to airplanes in a second here. But she did knitting for a friend of ours, and he had a Samoyed dog that he had. And she used the Samoyed hair mixed in with the fur, mixed in with a little bit of regular wool to give it spring. And you wouldn't believe how warm those mitts and toque and scarf were. Just unbelievable.
I'll bet. Okay, let's get back to airplanes.
Let's get back to
Yeah,
airplanes.
welcome, Phil. Thanks for coming in, Phil. And
Hey
Eddie,
guys.
coming in, Eddie. I appreciate that. And hi, Brendan and Angstrom. Thanks for
How we
coming in,
doing,
you guys.
fellas? Hey, we got a question for you here. So the original kit on the Twister, the horizontal stabilizer, in the kit box, it comes at 3/16. On the Fantarized plans, it mentions 1/4 inch balsa. As I look through my stash of balsa, all I've got is 3/16 available. Is it okay to stick with 3/16, or should I buy some and bump it up to 1/4?
My opinion would be the thicker the better.
Laminate 2/1/8 if you got that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that I have that on hand. So
Well, you can
Yeah,
laminate two.
You got a piece of
2/30.
5/16 or 3/8, and you can sand it down.
yeah, maybe, or frankly, probably just going and getting a 1/4 inch at the store would be.
Well, how about it's supposed to be 1/4?
The Fantarized plans call for 1/4. The original in the box is 3/16.
Well, how about an 8? How about a piece of 8 and then cut some V slots in it to lighten it inside, then sheet it 1/16 on both sides with some white glue, put a piece of glass or something flat on top of it, go to bed for the night, get up tomorrow morning, you got a stab that's much lighter and much stronger.
Good point.
You want to look at this stab, Brandon. This is off my Vector 40 profile I'm scratch building, and the fuse. didn't have a straight piece, a decent half inch. Every piece I had a warp in it and whatnot. So what I did was I just laminated together two pieces of quarter inch, and it called for a piece of hard balsa for the trailing edge. So that was no problem. I got some 14-pound RC wood around, so I just cut a strip off for the trailing edge and cut it out as per the original Vector 40 design and put the ribs in. And I could weigh it for you if you want, but it's fairly light and it's incredibly stiff.
Okay.
He
So-
does good work for he does good work for one of them maple leaf guys.
Hey, you
I
make
gotta
good
rib you
weight.
somehow. I gotta give you a hard time, but you're up there in Nanook of the frozen north was the only other thing I had for you.
No,
that's-
I got
God,
admit, hollowing out stuff like that. I cheat though, because I've got two of those rigid random orbit, or not random orbit, but oscillating stander stations.
Mhm.
So one I just leave the drum in, and one I leave at the edge sander. So
Yeah.
that cheats a lot for hollowing out stuff like that.
Mm.
Let me welcome
Sparky,
Carl. Hey, Carl, thanks for coming in.
Oh, you're welcome.
And
Good to see you,
Sparky, I know
Carl.
that you have
Hey, Carl.
probably an early morning tomorrow. Do you want to give us a little bit of an update on your plane before you have to sneak away? 1 minute, okay. Anyways, Tom, your video's off. Is that deliberate?
I'm cutting stencils. Can you guys hear that?
Oh, not too bad.
Not too bad. I heard a little high-pitched sound. That's about it so far. If it gets too loud, I'll just mute it. So go ahead and cut away.
Be done here in a minute.
Okay.
Yeah,
Your
I
plane
can't
looks
hear
nice.
anything on my end.
Sparky, that little Cobra looks really nice.
Yeah, that's turned out to just really be a good project, or a nice project. That's it.
It's cute. I really like it. I looked for a Tatone muffler to go on that thing. I hadn't found one yet, but there's usually one on there every once in a while. I'll keep looking. Let me find it yet. Where did you find that darn spinner?
Somebody bought them for me, sent them to me.
Okay, I was wondering because I haven't seen a spinner like that in a long time.
I was
don't
gonna
know how
ask.
long it's been, but it's been a long time.
I was gonna ask you earlier, Sparky, and I forgot when we was on your little earlier show. What color are you gonna do the fuselage? You gonna solid? Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I think you had said that before. I just forgot. Yeah,
Let me get this out of the cutter. Black with white scallops.
Hmm. I thought about doing mine in pond scum green, but I can't find any monocoat that color. And
Oh, I
I
got
don't know if I
some
really. You do?
right here.
Oh my gosh,
There it
that
is.
really is pond scum green. Wow. Wow. He just blew my excuse for not doing that right out of the water. Oh well. Son of a gun.
Okay, well, that looks like it'll work. I'm doing the decals for this thing now. I'm gonna try to get this thing wrapped up this weekend.
Very nice.
Are you going to John's this weekend?
I'm not sure, maybe.
Let me catch up on the chat box. Jeff Riley said, I have a Zoom chat with the fam. I'll try to come in later. And then Jack Snappy says, hello all around the world. Just saying hi again. Thank you. Thank you, Jack. Appreciate that.
Mark, where are you this week?
I'm still up in well, Ypsilanti, Michigan. It's near Detroit. So
Ypsilanti, I know where that is. Yeah, I got family in Detroit.
okay, yeah.
They tried to get me to move there many years. Well, us to move there many years ago because the jobs were paying so much more. I said, yeah, but it costs so much more. And the very week that we talked about maybe going up there and take a look, there was a big shooting and a bunch of. I said, no. I'll stay
Yeah.
down here. I mean, there's madness here too, but at least I'm used to this.
Well,
That's I don't know. Michigan's a different world.
yeah, this is
If you can't find anything else to fuss about, I'm a car nut. And
This is-
the streets, there you go.
this is
There you go. I'm a car nut, and you drive a nice car through the streets of Detroit, Michigan. You're guaranteed two things: one, a misaligned front end, and two, your teeth shaking loose. God, they got more potholes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Northern cities, freezing and thawing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought the same thing when I went to Muncie last year. I thought I'm never going to complain about Robertson County roads again. Those things were so bad up there.
We're safe from potholes right now. They're all filled with ice and snow. But give it
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Phil,
You wouldn't know if you hit bumps or not. The darn chains take up the back of the bumps.
Phil, what
You're still
airplane are you
feeling
working on now?
from the chains. Gracious.
Nobody's been chains here for a long time unless you go off road with a heavy truck.
Oh Lord.
What airplane are you working on now, Phil?
Thank you.
Well,
Appreciate
two
that.
of them. I've been trying to paint the Humongous, but I went out and tried to spray yesterday, and I got a cloud of bugs. The bugs have reached North Carolina, the little gnat things, and I got it sprayed. And today I got to sand, trying to get back to where I was yesterday. So I'm working on that. I'm working on the impact. I mean the Humongous, and then I'm working on a what is that darn thing called? Trying to put my vector back together, trying to get the
That
new
thing with the
ESC
wings.
programmed. That thing's driving me crazy. I thought I had everything together, and I went down there trying to gonna put it together and I mean solder the ends on it and put it in the plane, because I figured, hey, as long as I insulate these things, I don't have to hook everything up to set the darn thing up. So I got my little controller out. I got everything all set up. Set the ESC up. Excuse me. Went to put it in the plane, and I had to solder the ends on it. Guess what? I've got all kinds of males, but I ain't got female one. I'll have to fly something else tomorrow and go to the hobby shop tomorrow afternoon and buy some females.
Which
Put that thing together.
ESC?
I've got some, but they're real shallow, and the plugs off my motor will stick out a quarter of an inch. I said, no, I ain't doing that.
Which ESC did you end up going with?
I'm sorry, what?
Which ESC did you end up going
Oh,
with?
I got a badass. I bought a badass 45 amp.
No, the
It's huh? I didn't hear you, Mark. What?
your ESC.
The ESC, the electronic speed control for the Vector, is a 45 amp badass.
Okay. Sorry.
It's a Rebel series. I think it's the old GTW. It looks like the GTW. Looks exactly like it. I thought about taking this and trying to reprogram the GTW, but I'm scared I'll burn out my program card. So I just let it go. I've only got one GTW. It's what the RSM system used to come with. I've got two of the I can't remember the name of them, but they're programmable timer that's got the accelerometer in it. Excuse me, I have two of those, but I only have one of their ESCs. And got to admit, the Rebel is a lot lighter than the other one. And I think I'll just go ahead and get the ends. I may just take the ends if I have to when I get off here. I may go down there and take the ends off of the GTW and put them on the Rebel, just so I can maybe fly the thing in the morning. Because the plane's looking great. Everything looks good. It's just put that in it, slide it in place, and crank it up. you know how if yours was like mine, if you did it like the plan showed, you had such a hard time plugging the battery in. Well, I extended that 2 inches so I don't have such a hard time plugging the battery in now. And now I can get to my battery and get in and out. And I went and got some good Velcro and made a strap off the bottom. And now they come up to the side of the plane, and this side's got it on the outside, and this side's got it on the top. And you just fold this one over as far as you can, and this one lays over the top of the battery, and you shove it down in here. But there's enough tail sticking up, even if you shove this all the way down with I use a credit card, an old credit card. Shove it all the way down, and then press it. It's locked in there real good, but the only way you're going to get it out is pull that tab up.
Right.
But it'll be in there this time. I'm not losing another battery. That was embarrassing. For those any of you that don't know, I was flying in some high wind, and when I gave it down to top the last turn in the square 8. I thought I hit a bird. I lost power all of a sudden, and I thought, well, it'll come back in a second. But darn, how'd I hit that bird? And then the power didn't come back, and I realized that wasn't a bird. That was my battery came out the top of the airplane. So I don't recommend
wings and everything.
Oh yeah. So I'm heading into the wind with no nose weight.
There I was.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Hold
can't
my
back
beer.
up that fast. I can't back up that fast. And I was putting on a flight to show my grandson, and it just, he said, right up until there, it looked real good. That didn't look so good. I said, no, they never look good when they fall out of the air. That wasn't flying, that was falling. So anyway, I got the plane all put back together, but I'm telling you what, I don't want to do that again. That was embarrassing. Hurt my pride.
Yeah, right when your grandson.
Hey, Angstrom, how did your wing covering come out? Did you get the whole wing covered, or has he already left the building?
You can go grab it.
There you
Yeah,
go.
he'll show it off. Careful, don't knock it.
Make it big here just a second.
All right, buddy.
Oh my goodness. Looks
Tiny.
Wow.
That looks great.
shiny.
Looks like a chrome plated surfboard.
I tell you.
Yeah. When you get a little older, you can shave out of it.
Yeah.
That's
I
it.
heard Dennis. I don't see him, but I heard him. That
All
looks
right.
good, Angstrom.
And that you went with your Kevlar, right? On your
Yeah,
lead
got
out.
the Kevlar lines here, the adjustable lead outs. Yeah.
All right, very
Very
good.
nice.
Very nice.
I wanted to add, Brendan, that I used 3/16 wood on my stab and my franchise twister. And I don't know what I'm missing. I thought my plane flew really nice. And I had my cousin fly it, and he thought it was like on rails. So,
Yeah, I mean, the other thing is, and again, you all know where I'm at building wise, but on the franchise plans, the tips of them have where you put the piece on the end of them in the alternate grain direction, which I assume gives it a little more stiffness and stability from like flexing and stuff. So,
Mhm.
yeah, I don't know. I'm tempted to think 3/16 might get us by, but you all know better than us. So
It'll be fine.
3/16 should be fine. I mean, I think Stinger's got a 3/16 on it, and that thing's got thousands of flights on it.
yeah.
Now, is
I
that
mean,
what you
literally?
can't-
I wore out FP35 and an FP40 on that thing. So I mean, wore them out. So
Now, granted, they were smaller stabs, tail surfaces, but look at all the old Goldberg and Sterling kits and everything. Those were all 1/8 inch. Well, they seemed to work. They were just not as
Yeah.
well. Pretty hard wood too that they sold in those
I was
kits.
gonna say, correct me if I'm wrong. Just if you're going to use a solid wood surface, and again, correct me if I'm wrong. You want a little stiffer wood. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Not necessarily heaviest, but a little stiffer with your grain. Yeah.
yeah. I
But
went to
3/16 would probably work fine. Especially you got that alternating grain, and if you're really concerned, put in a piece of is on the Vector. Just put in a piece of hard balsa as a trailing edge, is like a rear spar.
yeah, that could work.
that means
Went to a
welcome.
contest
Dennis,
one
out of
time,
Mississippi.
and I just
Thank you, Dennis, for
anticipated
coming in.
somebody complaining about the fact I had used 1/4 inch where the plans call for 1/8 inch. But I took the 1/8 inch stab that I had literally cut out of the airplane. I'd flown it a couple hundred flights with an 1/8 inch stab, and that stab had cupped. It was about a 3-inch root on it, and it had bowed.
Yep.
But you take the tips of that thing and you can bend it real easy. And I wondered why that plane never flew right. And then I was talking to Ted Fancer at VSC, and I thought you'd bring in this plane this year. I said, well, I told him what I'd done. He says, go put a 1/4 inch one in it. Go look at mine. So I went and looked at Ted's, and he had a 1/4 inch stab in his. So I came home, cut the thing out, and put a 1/4 inch stab in mine. Funny thing, when you cut an 1/8 out, the 1/4 just fits right in. I thought, well, how am I going to trim this thing straight? I laid the knife on the stab and just brought it straight back and cut the thing out. Did that on both sides of it. And when I went to put the 1/4 in there to see how much I was going to have to cut, it slid right in there first try. Now you talk about dumb luck. That was dumb luck. But I finished it out and got it all flying. Ted was right. It flew much better. But the tail wasn't wiggling all over the place.
When you got cut
Just
pieces like that and you want to go a little bit bigger, even cutting wings out of profile fuselages, just get yourself an oscillating multi-tool and use that, and it just zips right through it, nice and flat, fairly clean cut. The only thing you got to fight with is the leading edge. Yeah,
I did that to cut the motor mounts out of a USA 1 to turn it into an electric. I was going to build a USA 1 and I built it for fuel, but I didn't finish it yet. And I said, I've been talking to this Adam Misson cat, and he said, oscillating tools. So I said, I've got an oscillating tool. Let me see if I'm any kind of talented with it. Hey, this thing's going to be electric. So that's pretty smart.
That's how I
Little
cut my
crazy.
hinge slot too. It takes about half a second to slot.
Well, I tell you what, we found a new way to do hinge slots for elevators and flaps, but it means that you have to build up your trailing edges. But I've gotten to where I build them with multiple pieces, and I just put a piece of 1/32 in the center. And where there's going to be a hinge slot, I just cut that piece out. And then when I put it all together and put it on the wing, my hinge slots are already cut. I know they're dead level. And when I put my hinge in there, it just fits nice and tight. Now, don't take but just a hint of epoxy in there, and you ain't never got to worry about that hinge. Never had one of those come loose yet.
Yeah, I've done that on a couple. Works pretty well.
Yeah,
But
I like
yeah,
it.
when I pick my oscillating tool, what I do is I cut the slots on the flaps, the tail surfaces before I shape it. And
That's the way to do it.
I'll use my, Sparky's old trick about using the sanding block as a stop for cutting out for the knuckles. I'll do that first, and then just shim it with aircraft ply till it's centered, and just go gazing, 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 and literally in less than 2 minutes, you've hinged the whole airplane.
Yeah.
Go again? How's it go again, Robert?
Yeah.
For using the traditional plate hinges, I'll
what-
just before I
What's the
shape
sound
it.
it makes?
Pardon me?
What sound does it make?
Lots of sound.
Bazing, bazing, bazing.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. More like brr, brr.
Okay, guys,
Lord.
I'm out of
It
here.
works well, but
You
I
got
did
this,
find
Sparky?
do it before you shape them so it'll lay nice and flat on the table.
Here's what I did.
Tell you.
All
Oh,
right.
that looks good.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Guys, one other trick I'll tell you, new guys, and Sparky's gonna already know this, but when you go cutting a cowling, you go doing a cowling, and you're gonna put a hole in the front of it. You cut that hole before you shape that sucker, or that hole will be so big you won't believe it. Cut the hole first while it's still squared up, and then shape everything around it so that it fits. Otherwise, you have a mess. Now that Cobra cowl right there, we ain't counting that. That's another one of them Sparky deals. That's just artwork, but
It's tiny. It's too tiny.
no,
Everything
that's
on
too
the
neat. That,
airplane is super tiny.
Yes, right.
If you're using the oscillating tool, I grind down cutters
Nice, Sparky.
to the hinge width.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm out of here. See you guys later.
All
All right.
right,
Sparky,
see
Sparky, take care of yourself, brother. Good to see you.
See ya.
That is really pretty.
That is.
Yeah,
You know, he
Charles,
does work. He does work he does
Hang
good
on,
work.
Bobby, right there. Here we go. What you got there, Bob?
so what I do is I take a cutter and I grind it down
Oh,
hinge width. And what's nice about it too is you've got the depth stops already printed on it too.
very
So
nice.
it works out fairly nice. And you know, you just use whatever brand of tool. Using
That's
so it
pretty
takes about
slick.
that long to do a hinge.
That's pretty slick, Robert. I hadn't thought about that.
Anyway, it's just one way. I got a video I did on it. I posted on Stunthangar years ago, but revised it a little bit since then. Maybe I should do a demo some night. Grab a scrap and
Yeah,
show you.
I've got a hinge slotting tool that does the same thing, but it just does it. That would be more control than what this thing is.
Well, the nice
blades are
thing,
so thin if
this
you don't
is
watch it.
blade automatically makes it dead flat and square, so it's plunging in straight. You're not having to angle the tool.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Unless
That
you're
one,
dealing with a trailing edge, you know, that's a little bit trickier. Sometimes I'll build up a block so that I can guide it in straight. Sometimes I just get lazy and freehand it because you don't have a flat surface per se to reference off unless you make up a little jig.
I always had to do it. I'm just not precise enough to do it free-handed. I always have to make a jig and jig it up. I just don't trust myself enough to do it free-handed.
No,
Sparky
I
would probably do it free-handed.
Bill to do a show and tell for us one evening.
Yeah.
Do you,
I
consider
might try to
doing
do that. I might try to come up with something for that.
Yeah, do something. I know you have a lot of experience, and you'd be surprised. You might think everybody knows this, but you might do something we didn't know that. You know, go, oh wow, that's a good idea. Why didn't I think of that?
Yeah, I've made a lot of mistakes. That's what I'm.
As long as you learn from them, that's all that matters.
That's it. That's it. Tom
That's
used to tickle. Tom
And I
used
think
to
you got
tease me
to turn
that.
your volume up a little bit, Charles. You're
Oh,
whispering.
you know what? Oh, I forgot to turn this thing over here. How's that? Better?
That's
Much
much better.
better.
That's much better. Tom used to tease me all the time that I spend more time mocking up stuff before I do it than it would take me just to go ahead and do it. I said, yeah, but when I go do it, I'm confident I can do it. So anyway.
And you want repeatability, like even drilling out for this horn for the holes. I wanted it dead on the flap, exactly positioned. So it took me a few seconds to make a drilling jig. That's to drill it square.
Yeah. I'll tell you
Now
what,
you're good
it's,
now. After you
it's,
sit down, I got you big, Bob.
Oh, yeah.
it's one of those, it's
I
one of
just
those
took
things.
a scrap of birch ply and drilled the holes in my drill press so it goes through nice and straight and dead on.
Very good.
It literally takes a couple of seconds if you got the tool sitting there anyway.
John Miller, did you get the Tut manual?
Yes, the one you sent?
Yes.
Yeah, I got it, saved it.
Okay, good.
Yeah, thanks.
Yep.
Looks good.
John, as soon as you get through that thing and you can understand it, call me and you can explain it to me.
Hey, I'm looking right now. I'm trying to see if I've got a pattern sheet for that set of plans I sent you. I'm not nothing happy to report yet.
Yeah, that's all right. We'll get it.
Hey,
I'll tell you
John.
what, I'm building as hard as I can go right now.
What's that? Was that you, Charles?
That was me. Do you have a CAD file or the plans and stuff for like your 4 bits?
Yes.
So that could be laser cut if it was sent to somewhere.
Yep.
I'll shoot you an email or something here this week or something. I got a couple of small ideas I want to try to
Uh-oh.
get in on our stuff here. So yeah.
This sounds interesting.
Yeah. Hey, Lynn.
Hey guys, how's it
Hey,
going?
Lynn, thanks for coming
There's
in.
Lynn.
You bet.
Hey, you
What's
guys,
everybody up to?
I have a friend who's going to be making a trim tab to help a warp. And I was just wondering, you guys have any suggestions for a trim tab on how to do it?
Put it on the outboard tip.
I know that.
Okay, but
Piece
some
of-
guys try to do it on the inboard tip, and it causes a hell of a problem.
Whoa, really? Wow.
Oh, yeah.
I would never think to put on the inboard tip.
Oh, people do.
Are they the
Wow.
same
Well-
guys that put their adjustable tip weight box on top of the wing?
Sometimes, yeah.
I've seen that done too.
What? Put the tip weight box on the top?
Yeah.
Put it on.
I've seen that
yeah.
done too.
You know what the deal is with that? The best answer I ever had from somebody that did that, they said it's easier to get to it that way.
Yes. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Hard to argue that.
You have to flip the plane over to get to the weight box. Yeah, I know.
I didn't have a thing to say. It's like, well, okay.
Yeah, that's true. That's.
Was
I
it
know
neatly
what you
done?
mean.
I think Dave Midgley did that one time on Wendy Unowski's videos.
Wow. Put tip
Yeah.
weight box in the
That
wrong.
would be
Did he change it?
embarrassing.
I don't know. If
That
he-
would be
I don't know if he
embarrassing. Be
changed it or
doing
not.
that at Wendy's.
But anyway, so any besides put on the outboard tip, I mean, I told him, I actually gave him a piece of real thin Lexon kind of material, and I told him to cut it and have maybe about 3/4 of an inch beyond the part that bends, and maybe use some RTV to glue it on there so you can remove it really easy. I've seen, I'm not sure who it was, but Ruben McBride, he had a real neat trim tab on his flap. He actually cut a section out of it and hinged it, and on the side he had like an upright with a slot in it with like an arc, so he could adjust it, and then with the cinch down screw he could tighten it in any position. I thought that was neat.
To do that on a really nice airplane, like a good airplane.
It's a
Wendy
really-
Ertnowski had a really good way of doing it that he did on his tribute, his last big airplane. And you'd have to watch the video to see how he did it, but he had it set up so that it was fully adjustable, that outboard trim tab.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
it-
Did he, Len, was that the one he adjusted basically with a 440 screw head on the bottom?
yeah, that's the one.
I
What,
saw
the
one
flaps
picture of
adjustment?
it and I copied it on my last airplane.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Is it the flaps adjustment?
Yeah.
No, we're talking
No,
about
not the flaps
the trim
adjustment.
tab.
The trim
Trim tab.
tab on the outboard wing.
Ah,
We had a guy that I flew with, he, when he built his, he used, soft copper tubing, like 1/8 inch tubing, and he had two tabs in there, and that soft copper would let you bend it, and it would stay where you bend it to trim it up and down however you needed to do. But he only had maybe 2 inches on the outside or whatever on the outside wing. But his was built in from scratch like that. It wasn't added to it.
Yeah,
But
we're gonna
it-
add. We're gonna
Right.
add this case.
The Yak 9 that I got that was was the moderator before you, Charles. I can't think of his name.
Rusty.
Rusty Knowlton.
His had just a piece of like 2-inch aluminum, thin aluminum plate.
That's pretty standard. Yeah, as long as it's flexible.
And it was put on with clear tape, just like packing tape.
See, that just goes to show that everybody
was
should
coming
have
off.
the flying field, so you got building material to do something like that with. You drink the beer and have at it.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Nothing that can't be solved with duct tape.
Yeah, you probably could cut the can with
Jay.
a pair of scissors too.
Yeah.
Well,
Jay,
his was like, I don't know what gauge
see
it
it,
wasn't
Phil.
10. It wasn't like a 10 can or nothing, but it was sturdy. Looked like it'd been bent in a break, something like that. So I don't know how he got it adjusted to where it was what he needed. I guess just trial and error.
You know what I like to use for that?
Hang on, Tryon. Phil was gonna go, and I'll get to you. And thanks for coming in, Tryon. I appreciate that. And
Good to
thank
see you,
you,
Trey.
Gary Akers, for coming in, my friend. Appreciate that. Go ahead, Phil, and then Tryon. Go ahead, Phil.
I've seen a bunch of guys do it with 10, and you can get cut on that crap so easy. If you're going to do it, be sure and round the corners. Don't leave any square corners out there where it's stuck to the wing or on the back, because sure as you do, somebody will get against that thing and get cut. But all you need, if you'll go to the store and buy just about anything that's wrapped in bubble wrap plastic, or this plastic that's form fitted, it's pretty good. It's pretty good plastic. My terrorist wants out apparently. Anyway, take a piece of that and just find a flat piece that's an inch and a half is enough, but I try to go 2 inches, and then however long you want to try, and I usually go 3 inches. Then take that thing and get you 4 pieces of wood where you can put on both sides of it and bend it. Heat it with your heat gun and bend it where you think it might need to be. Then you can take it and put it on your plane with double stick tape or anything, and put a little Scotch tape, packing tape under it, and play with it until you see, is this what I want and how much I want? Do I really want to put this thing on my airplane? Then when you get it done, instead of hanging it off the back of the airplane, you can, Tom Looper has them on his plane, and they're under the wing. You can't see it. He says if an aileron's deflected, you don't see something hanging off the back of the airplane. But Ted Fancer used to do his, and he would get the thing. He said he'd get it where he figured out it was where he wanted it to be, and then he would cut the trailing edge of the wing and slide this thing up in it and glue it in place.
Yeah.
And all there was the piece that hung off the back of the plane. I still like Tommy's idea where it's under the plane and you don't see it unless you look at the bottom of the airplane. But, different strokes, however you want to do it. I've seen Tom, here's one for you, and I'll shut up and let Trayan have it. I've seen Tom take trailing edge material, just pie-shaped material, and turn it around backwards so that the small parts to the front, sand that down where it's really tight against the wing, just where it don't have a 16th gap sticking down, sand it to where it's nothing, and have it a 1/4 inch at the trailing edge and put that up under the wing and tape it under there. And he eventually glued it under there and painted it to match the plane. If you looked at it from the underside, the darn thing looked like an aileron deflected.
Yeah.
But it worked.
It's a good
got
idea.
that on a ringmaster, and it works like a champ. So there's all kinds of ways.
Different strokes for different folks, for
Yep.
sure.
And don't none of them happen to be wrong. I mean, none of them are wrong. They're just different.
Yeah.
But Trayan, what you got, brother? Go for it.
So the way I do mine, because there are 2 options, right? You either have a full flaps and you have no trim tabs, right?
Right.
In which you need to move the flaps around, or you have some kind of a trim tab on the wingtip, or you add something to the flaps like you guys talked until now, right?
Right.
If you have a trim tab, what I like to use, there was like little like a ball link. It's a piece of ball with like a nut on the bottom and a threaded screw over there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I like to take that and just screw it into the wood, right, from the bottom.
Yeah.
So I have a ball, a stable socket for the ball that's never
Right.
gonna move,
Yep.
right? And then I use one of those ball jointers that look like this and goes like right on top of
Yeah.
the ball, right?
Right.
So it's flexible here, right? You can move around like that.
Mhm.
And on this side, I put just a regular clevis on a threaded rod. So just clevis, so you can release it, and you're not gonna put any stress on the wing or anything like that, because the ball joint allows you to move very easily, right? Anywhere.
Mhm.
And then you just take it 1 turn or 2 turns, whatever you need. You hook it back together, and that's it. Simple as that.
Are
If
these the
it's on
ones
a
we're talking
flaps,
about?
I'm sorry.
I do something similar, except I just put a little piece of plywood on, on the wing, underneath the wing, with a 16th hole through it. And I'll take 16 wire, make a Z bend, come out, it's threaded on the other end, and I just put that clevis on there.
So
Do
you
the
use the
same thing.
Z-bends. It's the same idea, right? With the Z-bend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same idea.
And,
these-
and for the
these the-
flaps, what I like to do is I have this. I mean, you can
Second,
make
Bob.
it yourself, hack it up.
There you go with that Tryon. You're
For
big now.
flaps, you can just hack something up like this, right? So you have it's like a double thing, right? And on one side you have this little, little extrusion. I mean, you leave the wires stick out just ever so slightly. So when this piece goes in, the two will line up, right?
There's a lot of glare, Tryon. It's kind of hard to see it. The glare. I mean, I can see it, but the light is just blinding us against the reflection of that metal.
You
I'll tell you
polish
what,
it
if I
up too much.
if I could
Right
hack something,
overhead.
if I could hack something out as pretty as what Trey's got there, because I've seen that.
How is this? Can you see it better now?
That is, yes,
Yes.
that is
Yes.
machined. That is machined aluminum, and it's gorgeous.
All right, so here we
Yeah.
go. Do you
Back
see
it up
that
just a
sticking
little
out a
bit,
little
Trey.
bit?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
The wire is sticking out just a little bit, right?
Yeah,
Obviously, you
yeah.
can make this with a sheet of metal or stuff like that, and you can just solder it on, right?
All right.
Okay, or have some kind of bronze bushing. And use the bronze bushing for that, right? As a bearing surface, right? And the way they work is that this guy goes inside like that,
This is
See
the
that?
windy deal. Yeah.
and what I have here, yeah, you see that?
Yeah, you can
Right.
adjust it.
It's like
That's
that.
cool.
And I have a single screw on the side that goes through this hole, and you can adjust it up and down like that. So you adjust it,
Lock it
tighten up
in.
the screw, or just like that, tighten up the screw.
Right. Yeah, that
Everything.
is an excellent solution, Tryon. But that'd be easier if you was building a plane, right?
I'm sorry?
This plane's already built, and do you make it even worse? You don't have access to the horns at all. The horns are hidden.
Yeah, but ideally you probably want to have something like this that goes like this sideways, and you have the two wires. It's very easy to adjust, like with a single screw.
Yeah,
Just
on a new plane.
loosen
Yeah.
up, move it, and tighten up the screw. Probably the
Okay.
simplest way to do it.
Right.
And I think it's more beneficial than trying to force the flaps around, because they're gonna
Oh, absolutely.
definitely damage the pockets over there,
Right.
wherever the flaps is being held in, right? So you either have a nice, as best as alignment that you can possibly do to start with, right? And have a little trim tab that you can just adjust that. I would rather do a little trim tab, or like everybody was saying, like have a little piece of sheet metal. But the sheet metal, it's like you can move it too much easily, or not
Mhm.
enough, or it may bend by itself back in position.
Yeah.
Or maybe if it's too thin, it's in flight, it's gonna the air pressure is just gonna push it down, right?
Or it gets bumped while you're traveling.
Yeah. So
Were
you get
these
something that's funny over there,
Tryon, were these the fittings you were talking about?
I'm sorry?
If I can,
You're gonna
were
wait
these
till
the fittings that you were talking about, the ball joints for?
Yes,
for a
those
trim?
ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
put the stuff on a
And those
wingtip,
tube-roll
stuff
ones,
it in,
yeah.
and yeah, exactly that.
Cool.
Yeah, just
I
use a
put that-
threaded rod on the other end, and a clevis, and that's it. Simple as that, man.
Now you attach one side to the wing rib, right?
Underneath
Oh,
a
you got-
wingtip, somewhere, anywhere you can put it. You have a solid
can-
place to do it.
If you can find a place under your wing to put a 1/4 inch round or square, whatever you want to do. I use round ones or oblong ones.
Mhm.
Piece of 1/16, sand it down, have
Yeah,
a hole in the center of it, glue that on the bottom of the wing, then put a Z-bend up to that, up in it and up in the wing. Then if you adjust this up or down a little bit, it doesn't bother this end, but you're not got anything sticking in the airplane. I mean, it just comes up to it, and the Z-bend is tight enough. You poke it through and it's there, and that end doesn't move. Then you put that clevis like he's got there on it, put that on the other end, and you can just take it loose and adjust it, whatever you want to do with it, put it back together. It makes it super simple. And
Yeah,
it's just
Phil, you know how to do that very easy? You take a piece of 3/32 plywood, 1/8-inch plywood or something like that, drill a hole through it, right? And then stuff it
Yeah.
on the end of your Dremel tool if you have one of those cutting wheels, right? With the screw, right?
Yeah.
And then turn the Dremel tool on and get your sanding paper and you make it like a lathe. And just put
Yeah.
the bevel on it, like a 45 degrees, 30 degrees is the flatter, the better, the nicer it is, right?
Yeah.
So just put the sanding paper like this. So let's say this is the plywood that's screwed in here, right? Take your
Yeah.
sanding paper like this, turn the Dremel on, and just make it like a lathe. It's make you a beautiful disc that's perfectly in size and stuff like
that's
that.
right.
You take that disc and you just put it right underneath the wing where your trim tab is, and just glue it in there.
Okay.
That's it.
Yep.
That's
Super
exactly what we.
simple. I mean,
That's exactly what we
ideas are
did,
super
but I didn't
simple.
know how to explain all that.
Yeah.
Mm.
So
Yeah,
try
Len and I couldn't use that Z-bend idea though. We'd have
Why?
to use a Z-bend.
oh, you can use the Z-bend. Z-bend works too, you know.
Oh my God.
These
Darn
guys are too
metric
many.
guys.
These Canucks are too many.
Not this one. I ain't going down that road. That's ridiculous. Oh man.
So in
Oh,
a nutshell,
hey,
those are
tell me
the two
something.
systems that I do employ all the time. Those are my
Robert
weapon of
Lynn.
choice. So that's
Yeah,
that.
Robert Lynn, I need to get you to answer a question right quick. Canucks, is that a downer or is that just a? I don't
Nope.
know. We had been calling a friend of mine built an airplane called a Dago Red, and I had no idea it was anything other than a Reno racer. But we were at the Nationals, and a guy walked up to him and asked him about why he named it that. He said because that's the name of the race plane.
Yeah.
Well, we were informed that that's a downer on Italians. So
Yeah,
I just want to make sure before I call somebody a Canuck, I want to make sure I wasn't saying something. I
Oh,
wasn't
no, we
supposed
don't
to
have
say.
a problem with that at all. In fact,
Not a problem.
Okay.
in the 1950s was called the Canuck.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of the
I think
best.
that's where I got it from.
That's
the
it.
ball team.
Just don't build a CF 100, right?
What's that?
Robert, Leonard, don't build a Canadair CF 100.
Why not?
It's called a Canuck.
Oh, that's okay. I
Yeah?
didn't even know it was
okay.
called a Canuck. There
Yeah.
you go.
Take a look at it. It
Right.
looks like a modernized Gloucester Meteor. It was,
There
Oh
you
my
go.
goodness.
it's a backbone of the Canadian, frankly, NATO all-weather fighter forces in the late 50s, early 60s.
Perfect.
Yep.
Built
Another
3 of them.
Canuck, the Fleet Canuck that was built in the 1940s after the war. And it's one of the best flying light airplane tail draggers, 2 places that was ever made. They're fantastic airplanes to fly.
I got to tell you guys, and you guys have probably already noticed that I don't know anything about Canadian history or history in general. I am not a history guy at all.
What? You don't know
just
Canadian history?
None.
Oh,
None.
You're
geez,
Canadian.
man.
I'm about the future. I'm not about the past.
Oh, come on.
The past determines the future, Len.
That's okay.
That's it.
I don't pay attention to the past at all in anything. I
Was it-
really don't.
Wasn't there
Sorry.
a helicopter that was named a Canuck?
Couldn't tell
Yeah.
you. Don't know.
There sure was. There sure was.
Yeah.
I don't know about a helicopter. I mean, we had the Chinook, but
Chinook.
That's
the
what I'm
Chinook,
thinking of. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was it. Yeah.
They're so close together, you know.
Hey, Mike, thanks for coming in, Mike. Appreciate it.
Hey, while I got a chance here, I've got something I wanted to show and tell for Phil. I did find the what pattern sheet. This is, you guys know what my pattern sheets usually look like. It's like, this was an early one. This is one of the second planes I drew. And so I'm going to share that with you so you can see how things
How things have changed.
Oops. Oh, I just closed down the sharing. Hold on a minute.
Well, I don't know how to bring it up the first time, so you're doing better than I do.
Look at that. That looks
Oh
good.
heavens! Look at that.
That's got the
Okay.
old, that's got the old
Yeah.
spar in it that we had to get rid of it because it was too, I'm trying to get that to stop happening.
You know what's neat though is I'm thinking, I haven't tried it yet, but I'm thinking the ribs are the same. So I'm thinking I can use my old ribs and just put spar slots in it from the top, and maybe we won't have to cut new ribs. I don't know. We'll find out tomorrow probably.
What airplane?
Well,
Oh,
see,
it's a Pathfinder.
see, these ribs
okay.
had pitching. These ribs were set up to go onto this spar. See how the spars are
Yeah.
notched and this flat? They
Yeah.
just kind of, you slip them in and then twist them 90 degrees, they lock in place. The idea, it makes a nice, quick, easy way to build a wing, but the spar wasn't strong enough. And we had a couple of wings that failed because of it. But I'll send you this for whatever it's worth to you.
Yeah,
So-
I can get what I need off of it. I think I'm just interested in the fuselage sides and the rudder shapes.
Okay,
The rest of it's no problem. So that'll work.
okay. Anybody have any questions before I stop this?
No, it looks good. Is that the Pathfinder?
That's the
Cha-ching.
Pathfinder 40.
What's the difference between that and the Brodak kit?
Well, there's a lot of difference. This was the first.
Oh, it's full body.
Pathfinder.
Okay, it's full body. I'm sorry. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I get
Right.
it.
Looks like tapered wing,
It
a
is.
Tapered
little,
wing,
a
okay.
little smaller than the other, John.
No, it's about
Mm,
the
it's not
same
small.
size. It's right
Okay.
behind me.
John, can you make that share about full screen by chance? Is
Let's see.
that as big as it is?
I
Upper right
don't think I
corner?
can make it any bigger, but I'll tell you what I can do. I can stop sharing here for a minute.
We'll maximize it on your page.
Right there, maximize right there.
How's that?
There he is.
There we
better.
go.
Thank
There
you.
you go. Now
Went
we're
up quite a
moving.
bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
But if you
you.
look right behind me here, here's the airplane right here.
Yeah, I saw that in person in Las Vegas.
Yeah,
Does it have a tapered wing?
it does.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What is the reason why the Brodak kit didn't have a tapered wing?
The Brodak kit was the profile.
Okay.
The profile had a straight wing.
For any
Uh,
particular reason or just to make it easier to build?
It was based off of a combat wing. And a very successful combat wing. And so it was rectangular, Hershey bar wing. And
Okay.
the plane doesn't suffer from having a Hershey bar wing. And I've read
No,
several
I don't.
pieces on it, on wings that say if you get it right, the Hershey bar wing or the rectangular wing can be very good. But
Okay.
I did draw one up and it's never been published. A couple guys have gotten plans and built it of the profile version of the Pathfinder 40.
Okay.
Has the same wing, has the tapered wing and all that. The fuselage is about 4 or 5 inches longer because of the tapered wing. You know, having to fit that in there and still have enough room up front for the tank and the engine and to keep the tail moment that I wanted to.
Okay. So in other words, the main cord is bigger. That's why. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Gotcha.
And I do have, I could share, but I think I'm taking enough time on this.
That's cool.
But I've got the Mark III, the profile version of this airplane.
I'm just trying to understand the history of this. That's cool.
Yeah, okay. Well, the
Wait a
first-
minute, Len, I thought you didn't do history.
That's what
I do on
thought.
model airplanes. I do history on model airplanes, but not on Canadian aviation and all that. No, I have no
Ah,
interest.
geez.
You'll notice it right here. This is drawn in 1994. The
Right.
plane existed a year before then.
Okay.
Mm,
Hey, it's
Yeah.
Nostalgia 30 legal then next year.
Yeah.
Cool.
Very good.
And yeah, anyway, so now I'll stop sharing.
Well, you
So
look
the
at the
plane behind you
history of
is
straight
that
wings,
old?
Guy's Twister,
Wow.
Al Raby's Mustang 1, Mustang 2. They flew great with straight wings.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, hey, Charles, can I do a quick share screen?
Yeah, let me go ahead and make you big. 1 second. You are big now.
All right.
Whoa! No,
Yes, you're always big.
There we go. Yeah.
my
Oh, look
goodness.
at that.
CF
Look at that.
CF 100 Canuck.
All right, that's a cool looking airplane.
That
I
is
think
That
it
kind
is.
of reminds you.
Museum here.
That kind of reminds me of that little kind of bear bomber they had.
All right, my favorite one coming up. There we go. Oh,
All right.
Isn't that- it's that all of your air bases double as sheep
sheep
grazing?
farms?
Yeah,
That's how they
okay.
keep the grass cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. They had to keep the grass down some way.
I
Yeah,
think
the
it's
one
a-
we have here in Edmonton at our museum is painted in that same camo scene you had with the sheep.
Mhm. I think it's a good looking, it's obviously it's squared off and everything like that, but those engine nacelles are really purposeful. They're fully developed around intake and everything.
And that wing shape is perfect for building a
Oh,
stunt wing.
absolutely.
What a great
Absolutely.
idea. Cool.
I like how
That's
high the
it.
stab is.
Yeah, I mean that I don't think I want to go there, but boy, it sure looks good up there, don't it? On the real
Yeah.
airplane. But I think
You
you
want
could,
a
I think you
commercial
could lower the
version of
stab
it,
and I don't think it would hurt a thing.
Look at that
But you
squad. Well,
definitely-
hold it back up a bit. Back up.
I like that squadron. I like that squadron insignia. That was neat.
That's what I was
Witch.
going to point out. The squadron insignia, the witch on
really-
a broom.
I really like, and there's a couple of really, I think there were some air show colors, but I really like the black ones. I think it was active as an all-weather and a night fighter. And so it wasn't necessary for it to be supersonic or anything like that. It just had to be, dependable and, high serviceability rates and stuff.
That's cool.
And that's where it shined. So,
If you could get if your brother's still around, you could build that and have him print you out a spinner to match that nose cone.
yeah. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to wait a little bit for that one, but
Yeah.
it'd be, but yeah, that's just one more thing.
That spinner would be a challenge. That's interesting.
Yeah.
You want a little bit of family history on that airplane too. Avro at the same time for the civilian market developed the Avro jetliner, built a prototype, which flew fantastic. It was the first jet airliner in North America, and it was just 2 weeks shy of being the first in the world. And anyway, politics wouldn't allow it because the owner of, or the CEO of TransCanada Airlines, which is now Air Canada, absolutely hated the CEO of Avro. And because of that, the government wouldn't allow production of it. Rickenbacker wanted as many as he could get for Eastern Airlines, or not Rickenbacker, but Hughes wanted as many as he could get for Eastern Airlines. But of course, in their infinite wisdom, being a government, they chopped it all up, and the nose section is in the Rockford Museum in Ottawa, along with the 206 jetliner.
Yeah, they did the
Or
same
not
thing.
jetliner.
They did the same thing to the Northrop flying wing bomber.
Flying wings. We sure did. Every darn one of them.
Well, they did the same thing to the Avro CF 105. It's absolutely the best, pardon the expression, absolute kick-ass design from the 60s. It was ahead of everything, and basically shut it down. US sold them a bunch of F-101 Voodoos, which were nowhere near as good. And then the Avro engineers all joined NASA to help us put a man on the moon. So
Do you have
Actually,
a picture of that,
predated
plane?
1960. It was 1958 when it actually was flying,
yeah,
and they destroyed it in at the end of 1959, Black Friday.
yep.
Do you have a picture of that airplane?
The CF 105, I can find one.
I would like to see it. I really would.
It's a really
And
really good looking Delta.
Performance with the poorer engines too. They were just using J79s, and the Arenda engine that they were building in house, the Iroquois, hadn't actually flown in it. That was supposed to fly in the next one, and the nose section of that is at that same museum in Ottawa.
They used to fly a bunch of those. The plane he's talking about, the Air Force flew them in and out of Myrtle Beach Airport, Air Force Base, and it's the airport now, but it used to be the Air Force Base. And the first one I ever saw was flying in formation with 3 of them, and they used to fly out over the ocean and try to come in under the radar. And if they could get to some point there, they would haul up to get so that they didn't fly over the school and make a bunch of noise. So it was pretty slick to watch them. But one day we were at the beach and we saw this god awful splash. We couldn't figure out what happened. One of them had come in and got too close, making a turn, and caught a wingtip. About 6 hours later, we saw that thing coming down Highway 101 up there, or whatever it is, Highway 1. And it was in the back of a 2.5-ton truck. It was about as big around as a Volkswagen, but it was a big ball. And if you'd seen that airplane before, it's not a tiny airplane. It's a pretty good sized airplane. But he was going fast enough when he caught a wingtip, it just balled it up.
Yeah. Well, that wouldn't have
Okay,
been Arrow
Charles,
because
one
we
more
never had them
time.
operational.
There it is.
Oh, wow.
There it is.
Oh, that's pretty.
Wow. Yeah, I see what you mean.
It did Mach 1.9 on its 4th flight.
And like Robert said, it was like basically about 50% powered. Did not have its intended production engine. The Orienda engine was like a half again more powerful than what they were flying it with.
Wow.
So it had performance like crazy. And this came out at the time when like the F-104 was our best effort and stuff. This thing would eat an F-104 for lunch. So
Wow. That
it
is
was really
also had
it's a
a,
real
uh,
head
a
shaker that it was killed. So
Unbelievable.
Why they did that? That's crazy.
Underneath it had clean wings and fuselage, and underneath the fuselage was the weapons bay, and it dropped down similar to the F-94 Scorpion. And
Wow.
so it was a modular bay concept for guns or rockets, or potentially it could carry bombs also. But unfortunately, they only flew 5 of them, and the rest of them were destroyed on the production line.
mhm.
Yeah,
Oh, what
yeah.
a shame.
And
That is a
like
shame.
Robert said, that's the only surviving part right there.
And I have a
Wow.
picture of me hugging the nose gear on it. I jumped over the barricade and hugged it when I was going through a museum. My wife took a picture of me.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, well.
Nice.
That's wild.
All right.
That
So
That is
that's
wild.
Len, that's your evening dose of Canadian aviation
Well,
history.
I do know a little bit. I mean, I know about the
Yeah,
Avro Arrow.
yeah.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
do know about that.
Yeah,
Hey,
there's
if I could, interrupt for a minute here. I just want to encourage people to support the program. You can support it with either the YouTube memberships, which start at just $4.99 a month. I mean, it's less than 17 cents a day. I do this myself. I have the $4.99 come out of my checking account. I don't miss it. I don't think you will miss it either. And I mean, there's so many other parallels I can draw. And you can just, instead of getting the combo when you go through the drive-through, just get the sandwich and then save the money that you would spend on the Coke and the French fries and show us some love. I mean, it's just,
And you don't have to pay $5. You can pay more.
yeah, like you do.
I pay 15.
Right. So, I haven't seen a new membership, a new member in such a long time. I really think it's ridiculous. I really do. That's why I'm bringing it up. Now, also, we don't have any super chats. I appreciated the $1 I got Monday. I mean, that is better than nothing. And I'm not listening to you guys. I'm listening to our audience, because I appreciate you guys coming in. So don't feel any angst like you're in a Baptist church or anything. I'm not going to pass out the plate.
Oh.
I'm just saying that if you
Oh, that was
love this
good.
hobby, I mean, everybody, like Bob Hunt says, there's only one hobby, and that's spending money.
Spending money.
And you spend money on
He's
things
right.
you like and love, enjoy. And I just don't understand how little support this is getting. So I mean, I hate to be so hard on it, but come on. I mean, it's like you guys, who's ever watching us, I mean, about in a week or so, we'll have almost 300 views, and no one joins, or very few. Maybe they're joining on Sparky's weekend broadcast or when he, but I take pride in what I do. I actually work hard on the show, and I want to. I think if I'm not producing, I think Sparky should get rid of me. I mean, just value. So I mean, but people,
We're not
I'm
getting
just telling
rid of
you,
you.
people, you got to support this. I just don't understand. $4.99 a month for something you enjoy. I just don't get it. Anyways, the super chat, if you wanted to just donate a little bit there, you can do that as well. And don't forget the likes, and don't forget to come back. But please, come in if you don't want to donate. Come on into the show, and you can donate by doing a show and tell. You can come
Talking
in
of
by.
show and tell. You guys want to see a show and tell?
I love show and tells.
I'll go get a
it's
show
great.
and tell. I got a show and tell.
Thank you for this transition, Lynn. You're a good friend. Thank you.
I've got one thing to add to the Canucks. Okay, I was always of the understanding that derived from Nanook of the North, and the stories way back when about Nanook in the North. And I don't take that as a put down to the northern tribes. If you ever been amongst them, you gain respect for them very quick, because I always looked at it. If you could build a thriving culture and survive for generations in that area of the world, you got something going for you, because you're one tough cookie. So that's just a little addition I want to make onto the Canuck and Nanook.
Here we go, the show and tell.
Oh, look at this. You've already got it. Oh, I love your wheel pants.
Wow, this is the bear. Look at that. Are those lightning holes all part of the plan?
That was all part of it's all part of the kit.
Wow, that is neat.
Yeah, it turned out pretty nice.
I was really sick that you.
That is
I was really sick that you weren't going to do the wheel pants, but they really look good.
They look pretty sharp. Yeah, they turned out nice.
They do.
They're quite an effort, but they look nice when they're done.
Credit to Bob.
30 ounces.
Wow.
Whoa.
Wow.
So I'm pretty happy with that.
Wow. Now I got something to shoot at when I do mine. 30 ounces. Wow.
30 ounces.
Very good.
I carved those blocks till Sparky would have been proud.
I saw your tribute to Sparky on the hangar this evening before it came over here.
Yeah,
that looks great.
I have to thank it. Look how hollow look how hollow it is inside. There's nothing in there.
Nose on it, Len.
What's that?
Pretty nice,
What are you
Charles.
stuffing in the nose? What engine?
Rojet 61.
Wow, beautiful.
Okay, so that's what I've been up to. Tomorrow we start doing the Phillips.
What kind of magnets does the Rojet have in it? And how many? Oh, I'm sorry. No magnets at all, huh? Those ABC style magnets?
Yeah, ABC magnets.
It has those special reciprocating ones.
Yeah, something like that.
Got an idea for you.
Shoot.
Take it easy on your fillet, and go ahead and cover the wing, cover the fuselage, leave the fillets alone.
Okay.
Somebody told me all right, I'm trying to think too hard. Wait until you get ready to put your colors on, and then go back and do the fillets. And the idea is you don't want any more paint on the fillets than you have to do.
Right.
You can also do it by covering them up with a piece of tape. Just cover 3/4 of it with a piece of tape, and then uncover it before. Then you want to go back and cover everything else up and put one coat of masking or primer on it, and then put the color on it, and then put the clear on it. But
so basically just primer,
just
color,
primer and
clear. That's it.
Yeah, you don't want any more paint on those things than you have to, because
I try to do that now, but I like the idea of putting some tape over them too. That's a good idea.
Yeah. Don't
think
put
I'll
any more
go that
paint on
route.
those things than you have to, because otherwise they'll blister. And
Yeah.
what is it that causes blisters? You got too much paint and it starts
In
shrinking.
a
as paint
concave,
does.
yeah, exactly, and it
Yeah, and it pulls up.
pulls away, yeah, every
Can it
time.
But
cover it
anyway,
like Bob did, Len, with
What's-
Jap tissue and then 2 layers over the open base?
So I'm gonna cover the open bays with polyspan, right? And then I'm gonna
Yeah.
cover the entire airplane with silk span.
Yeah, because what I understand.
That way it's more durable.
Yeah, because I
Then
think
he say-
I know what I'm like putting airplanes and cars and stuff. If I just do it with silk span or I just do it with Jap tissue, I know where this is going, right down the rabbit hole. And I'm gonna be the guy left
Yeah.
cursing and swearing, so I don't
Len,
wanna do
you
it.
said you're gonna cover the open bays. Does that mean that you will stop short of covering the entire wing with polyspan?
That's right. All I'm gonna do is cover about a 1/2 inch onto the wood with the poly
Okay.
span. And then when I do the silk span, I'll do the entire airplane.
Okay, so polyspan first, and then
Yep,
your silk span over the
Right
top
over
of the
top.
poly,
right
over the top of
whole
the
thing. Yep,
polyspan too?
Yep, right over the whole thing.
Okay,
So
okay.
I'm only using medium weight silk span and not the Brodax stuff. I'm using the old
Yep.
real good stuff. So it
Yep.
should be just fine.
You're in good shape.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll
All right,
see.
can
Hopefully in a
anybody tell
couple
me
of
where
weeks,
to get something?
I'll show you again in a couple of weeks. Hopefully we'll have it covered and ready for paint.
Wow.
Very
Probably have
good.
it painted in
Very
2
good,
weeks.
man. Good
I
job.
won't have it painted in 2 weeks. I wish I could.
Boy, I tell you what, every time I think I'm gonna paint it, either gets cold or it gets windy or we get a cloud of bugs like yesterday. But I got a question for y'all. Does anybody know where I can get my hands on a set of plans to a firecracker?
Oh, actually get it through AMA.
AMA?
I
I didn't
believe
know
they've
that.
got
I'll give them a call. The
Give 'em a
2
call.
planes that I've been looking for, well, that's the one I want. And I've been asked to see if I could find a Pat Johnson P-51D.
You can get that from
One
Pat
of my
Johnson.
buddies wants.
Just
Huh?
ask Pat Johnson.
Pat Johnson, just get in touch.
I'll have to
to
get
them.
in touch with him then. I'll have to find out how to get in touch with him then. I've got a bunch of plans from Pat years ago, but I don't know. I guess I lost what I did with the contact information. He's up and he used
Well,
to
he
be
moved
at
a few
Grafton
years
for
ago
power
too.
Yeah,
He got
he used to
divorced,
be
he got remarried, he got moved, you know.
Yeah.
Been busy.
Well, I
what sounds
understand he
like.
retired too, so
Yeah, he
he's
did.
he's done a lot of changing around, but boy, he's another one that does some pretty nice prints. But
Yes, he does.
one of the guys I showed one of the guys my P-51B that I'm doing, the Tuskegee Airman. Tom Morris did a kit a couple years back, and I got one of them.
All right, red tails. All right.
I'm hopefully going to start on that thing pretty soon. I went down to South Carolina to see my daughter and went to see Tuskegee, where those guys trained.
Right.
My dad told me stories of the red tails that went with them out I don't know, I can't say it, can't talk all of a sudden. Anyway, they escorted them on a few of their bombing missions.
Yeah.
He said the other guys would go out for personal glory trying to get as many kills as they could get. The red tails would stay with them and keep the mosquitoes off of mosquitoes. ME-109's off of them.
Right.
So I don't know. Just those guys just never got enough credit, I don't think.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do one of their planes.
By a long shot.
Yeah, that'd be great. I've been meaning to do a red tail myself.
I'm telling you, where they trained, you talk about putting them in the worst. I mean, they didn't have anything. They had P-51s, A's and B's. That was the Allison motor, slow P-51s with the big long turtle decks behind them. Then they trained in a place that nobody else wanted, is why they put them there.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing about these guys says, we're going to go out and do our best. It's just they're giving us the worst of everything. And they went out and kicked everybody's records in the dust.
Yeah.
They were the ones that everybody wanted to
My
escort them out.
understanding, it's my understanding, Phil, that they never lost a bomber that they were escorting.
Yeah. Yeah, and
I don't think they did
some of
either.
the pilots requested them to escort. They requested
know
the
Dad said
tails
their
to
wing
escort them.
did.
They never lost the plane.
Yeah, Dad said their
Wow.
wing did.
Yeah.
Requested them every time they went out.
Yeah.
So
And,
it
you know,
was,
just to join, their entry requirements were way higher than any of the white guys.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, they got the best of the best that way, but it was still
Oh, that's
a
it.
way to do it.
they
And the people
still,
are saying
they
that they
those
knew that
guys had a
they knew that
rough
they were
road to
going to
hoe.
succeed. They knew they had to succeed because they had the best qualified human beings in America flying in those, training in those squadrons. They knew that they were going to succeed. So
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, they did a good job.
There's
There's Howard.
Did you guys notice Steve was here before Howard? You guys didn't notice him?
Steve here.
Got here.
I didn't.
Hi, Steve. I saw you when you came in, Steve.
Hey, Steve. I
And
didn't
thanks
see
for coming in, Steve. And Howard, thanks for coming in. I appreciate that.
you. Yeah.
I got a show and tell.
Yeah, are you taking off?
No, I just had a comment. I just looked up AMA plan service, and it does show the Firecracker by Brian Ether. I assume that's what Phil was looking for.
That's it. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Gary.
$26.
Thanks for coming
It's
in,
how
Steve.
much?
I appreciate that, man.
Hi, Gary.
It's how much? It's how much?
$26.
Okay. Thank you.
I think they also send the article with it.
They do.
So
I know.
that's a
I've
good
talked to
way.
the guy person. I've talked to the guy person so many times that when I call up there, we end up talking for a few minutes before I ever give him my order. But he's a great guy.
Let me interrupt you guys. I've been waiting to acknowledge, as I asked people to join, and I have a new member. I want to welcome Rick Wallace. Thank you very much, Rick. Appreciate that.
You did good, Rick.
Welcome aboard.
I've seen you in there before giving us super chats. So thank you for even supporting us on a monthly basis. And I'm not sure what level you participated, but at least the $4.99 level. So if you did more, thank you more. I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Boy, that's sad. Not this.
Here's what I've been working on.
So Eddie, what do you want to share? Oh, look at that.
Oh, hey, what do we got?
Where are you at, Eddie? There you are.
Let's talk, Eddie. Want to see you big.
It's just a handle I've been working on.
All right.
Very
Got
nice.
that out on your vinyl cutter?
No, this is pine. It's just pine. I'm just experimenting. It's red food coloring.
Is that laminated or a solid piece of wood?
It's solid.
You know,
Looks called hot rock.
It's the same. It's the same pattern as.
Hot rock.
So what's adjustable on it?
It looks like.
No, it's the same pattern as that.
Yeah, as the
Hanger
E-Flight.
nut.
Okay.
Very nice.
So what's adjustable
It's
on
gonna,
it?
It's going to be it's going to have the bar on it with the cables.
Okay.
Well, not cables. I'm going to use Kevlar, but this will go through the other side. I just had use for a handle.
Okay.
That's
Well, I
nice.
saw
But it's
something on eBay.
it's the typical it's going to have the screw sticking out like that with the aluminum bar on it with the adjustable where you can the slides. But
All right.
I first did it green,
Mhm.
and it was really a dark green, and I got to thinking, I lay this damn thing out there in the grass.
Yeah.
I'm not
See
gonna
it.
find it.
Yeah, good luck.
So if you're flying on a pad or something like that, green's fine. But when you're flying in the grass, I thought,
problem.
well, that didn't turn out right.
Especially if you put green lines on it.
Yeah,
It's like painting your whole airplane sky blue in a place where it never rains.
yeah, right.
I had a friend that wanted me to get him a handle years ago, and I got him one. I got him a red one. I thought, well, red's cool. I did not know that he was colorblind. So when he laid this red handle in the grass, he'd always pick his lines up in the airplane and walk it out to the handle. I couldn't figure out why he didn't just walk out there and pick it up. He finally told me because I'm colorblind. So I took the red one. He got the blue. I gave him my blue one. He could see it.
Huh.
Let me mute just a minute.
Yeah, it's a good idea to pick your things up anyway.
So what did his paint jobs on his airplanes look like?
Beautiful.
I can only imagine. Where's Mike?
Holy smokes, there he is.
Well, I've been here. I had my mic turned off because I was putting batteries in storage charge, so my charger was right here. And
Okay.
fan was.
The airplane yet?
Maybe I did, but before I get to that, I wanna make Phil mad because I got some more good marketplace scores yesterday.
No. I mean, oh yes. Oh yes.
So I got a little show and tell for that too, if you're interested.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Ringmaster Junior, still in the shrink wrap. It's falling apart, but it's there.
Estes. Wow.
Full size Ringmaster, still in the shrink wrap. Ringmaster Sportster, unmolested.
Oh, those are rare.
One of them.
Unmolested. Still, I'm going to take the top off and I'll just kind of let you peek at it. But got the molded canopy, the molded top deck. Never been taken out. It's all there. Nicey nice.
That'd be a neat one to. That'd be a neat one to have it. The Ringmaster fly thing.
No, I'm going to flip them. I'm flipping them all for money. But the upside of this whole deal was this guy that I found had them kits for sale. He had boxes and boxes of RC stuff too from a fellow modeler that he knew that passed away. And he just started loading me up a box. He's like, just look through these boxes, take what you want. And I'm hoping I got, so this is the ESC, Denny. It's the Phoenix, Castle Phoenix 60.
Mhm.
Nice.
If that's a player.
Yeah, it looks like the original Phoenix.
Will that work?
Label.
Well, I got two of them.
Yeah, those are great. You can drop those in with a Cuban timer, and Sam's airplane will be in great shape.
Okay, the other one is a Turnigy Plush. I don't know, and that's a 60 amp. Is that something that's suitable?
It's not a governing ESC. You can set it up with one of the throttle compensators. You can probably set it up with an RSM and use it as a governor with that.
Okay, all right. And I don't know if they work till I power them up. You know, I just don't know.
Well, it looked like those first two didn't even have the connector soldered on yet, so they look brand new.
Right. Question for the inquiring minds out there. There was this. Okay, it's got 3 leads on it. It's shrink wrapped. And the only thing I can see is in there.
Well, show the connectors again.
Anybody know what that is?
It looks like it's got 3 battery connectors on it.
It looks like a gyro.
Yeah, I think Phil might have it. Show us the wire ends, the connectors again.
Right here.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's some kind of a gyro or some kind of a splitter.
Excuse me.
It could be too if you have retracts. The doors go in, the retracts will go up, and then the doors.
Okay. That could be something for that. There's no other markings on the outside of the heat shrink, so I mean, there's no manufacturer marking.
Is there I don't see a servo wire or anything like that.
Well, there's one servo lead there, and then the other 2 are there's a male and 2 females. Sorry.
I think Steve might have hit it on the head. It might be a retract mixer.
Retract. Okay.
Or it might be before there were computer radios, there were some electronic mixer boxes that did things like would let you mix V-tail and stuff like that. They
Hey, Mike,
usually
I
weren't
have
that
a
big.
question on that thing you just showed before you showed something else.
Yeah, what's that?
Is there a screw? Is that an adjustment on the end?
It is.
Okay.
It is. Yes.
Okay.
That's why it
That's-
sounds like a
That's what
retract
makes
too.
me think it could be for a retract system, because you can adjust the speed of
what they're doing. Okay. So other good new Dremel, nice Dremel. 2 boxes of attachments for Dremels.
Nice.
This is all just crap he loaded up in the box. I don't know, there's a dozen servos in here, mini micro servos, you know,
I'll buy that.
which are
I'll
good.
buy that.
Here's why I wanted Denny on here. Denny, did you get your new iron? Because I don't think this is the same brand. This is a global,
Okay.
but
I got one on order. So
it does have some really nice contour parts on it. Look
Yeah.
at that on the
Yeah, it
sides
does
and
look
stuff. Looks pretty good. And then there was a couple of trim sealing irons too in there.
Nice.
Yeah, it looked like the
Well,
top.
Hey, I got
plate.
that little white one. I have one of those.
Yeah, a couple white ones.
I got one of those.
Denny, if you need, well, sounds like you already ordered one. I'm sorry, I'm a day too late, I guess, with getting this stuff.
Mhm.
But the 3 kits and then all this crap in the box, he asked for $100 bill for all of it.
That's very good.
Those ESCs were about, I think newly, those ESCs were about 95 a piece, the Phoenix. And
Yeah,
yeah, the
that's
60
a
amp
good
Phoenix.
steal there. Angstrom and I use Phoenix and Talons on our RC.
Yeah, I think the 60 amp plush was probably a $650 item anyway.
Okay. Yeah, there was a few 20 and 30 amp ESCs in there as well. I didn't pull them out because they're not control line related. But
Well, that's the thing. If they're not Phoenix, if they're off-brand airplane only, you put a throttle compensator on it, put it on a Ringmaster or something like that, and fly forever. It'll be just fine. Or use the combat timer on it; it'll work just fine.
It'll work
Except
good.
you can't adjust anything on that. But
Well, the other thing, Mike, you got that uproar, and you
Right.
can turn that into electric, and
right,
that's
yeah, I'm
why it's
gonna.
fine for RC.
Yeah, if they work, I hope they work when I get them chugged in. Then the other nice thing, when I came back from flying today, I had a big box on my porch, and my good buddy Larry Davis, who got me into combat and started getting me going to contests. He lives out in Phoenix now, and unfortunately, his 2 flying buddies passed away, Jeff Hanauer and Lance Matassa. So Larry's not flying much anymore. But I got a dozen rolls of Monocoat, Econocoat, Tower Coat, and what's the Ultra Coat. And there's even a cool, there's a whole roll of Polyspan down here at the bottom as well.
Wow.
So that was pretty nice.
Michael, you'll be able to get your $100 back out of that Ringmaster alone.
Oh no, dude! I just sold a Ringmaster Junior for $75, and then I sold one of those other the full size Estes for $100 shipped. Their Sportster, I'll get 150 out of that, probably 160 or something like that.
Easy.
Yeah, I'm going to turn that into about $300, I think.
So when you made that deal, were you holding a gun to him?
No, man. No, I just went there to buy the kits. I found the guy on Facebook Marketplace. I drove an hour and a half to get to his place. And when I got there, he had a bunch of RC stuff. He's an RC guy. He had planes, but he had a modeling friend of his who passed away that he inherited all his modeling stuff. And he's like, go look through some of them boxes and just pull some stuff out and see if you can use it. And I made a little box and I said, what do you want from all this? And he goes, give me $100 for everything. And I was like, all right. So it pays to watch Facebook Marketplace
Thank you for reminding me of that.
airplane stuff, man. I'm telling you, this guy did not have it listed on a control line site, on an RC site, on a model airplane page. It was just on the general Facebook Marketplace, regular, where everybody sells old rugs and patio furniture and lawnmowers and everything else. You can set up your search to look for. I shouldn't tell Eddie this if Eddie's still here watching because he's close to me. And
I look at it every now and then, but apparently they get snagged up before I find them.
Well, you can set your search to let you know when airplane stuff is within 100 miles. You know what I mean? That's what I do. You can set it up to give you notification. I shouldn't tell you, Eddie, because you're in Nashville too, and then you're going to start swooping me on these deals, man. But
No, my wife won't let me.
what? Spend $100 to sell some kits for $300? She won't let you do that? Because that's what I'm doing with them.
Yeah.
I'm not keeping them. I'm not building them. You gotta hustle, man. Gotta get out there and hustle, man. A little, gotta have a little side hustle to make some of this stuff pay for itself, man. Uh-oh.
Well, guys, I think I'm going to shut down. Before I go, though, Charles?
Yes.
You were talking about, you don't know if you're going to be kept on as host. Well, I don't see you got a choice because Rusty set one hell of a precedent. It's a lifetime commitment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
Trust me, Sparky is not pressuring me. I just take pride in my work. And I just want to bring value. And
you do.
You do. And if we have our way, you're never going to.
I'd really like the show to pay for itself because, Sparky does pay me, but I feel he has to come out of his pocket. And I'd like the show to support itself. Kind of where my head is at. So, but Sparky is not harping on me. He has not anything negative to say. He appreciates what I'm doing. He thanks me. And he's taking care of me, but I just want the show to be able to take care of me. And at the rate that it's being funded, I just don't feel good as a person.
Well, kick in about $100 a week, Charles, and it should pay for itself.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to be broke in the process.
He's funny.
Yeah. Anyway, on that note, good night, guys. Hopefully,
hey, good night. Thanks.
Take it easy, Robert.
Thank you, Bob. Take care, man.
Take care.
You take care.
I'm going to sign out.
Get out of here, Gary. Hey, thanks, Gary, for coming in. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. This is another person I invited, and she showed up. And so, if you guys know anybody, ask them to come in. Tell them how much. Tell them your own testimony. Tell them you enjoy it. You do it frequently. You come in and you have a blast and you learn stuff. Just share the wealth. I mean, share.
Gary, will we see you at the Nats this year again?
I haven't been to the Nats in Muncie ever.
Oh, you know what? I'm sorry.
Thinking of Steve Harris.
I'm thinking of Walt. Remember Walt? Walter?
Oh, Walter Moore. Yes.
Walter Moore. I'm sorry. You look very similar to him. I'm sorry, Gary. I didn't mean to confuse you with Walt. And he hasn't been in a long time. That's who I thought you were when you came in.
Yeah.
Walt came to the Nats.
Well, still, Gary, show up at the Nats.
Yeah,
right?
show up at the Nats. Yeah, show up at the Nats.
Show up at the Nats, yeah. And but you might have seen Steve Harris. Steve Harris was there. He's from California.
Okay.
And he had a Hawker Hunter, I think, an electric plane that he brought to the Nats.
Yeah.
He's almost gone all of them. I flew with him today at Whittier Narrows.
Really? Well, next time you see him, tell him I said hi. And I actually left a message on their phone, or I even spoke to Steve. So tell him, your own testimony. No one can dispute it. You enjoy it. You come in frequently. You learn stuff. We're a bunch of great guys.
I know he's
Especially Charles.
I'll try to promote it at VSC because I know Steve Harris is going to VSC this year.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Please promote it. We need more people coming in. And so thanks for coming in, Gary. I appreciate it.
Okay.
Right.
So Gary, you're going to be at VSC then?
Yes, we've already signed up.
I'm hoping to get there for my first time ever. So I'll see you in a week and a half. All right.
Oh, fantastic, Dennis. You should have a great time.
That's cool.
I went to VSC once and a couple of years ago, and I absolutely, it's a little bit under Brodax. I mean, it's that much fun.
Yeah.
When is it?
Pretty good.
When is it?
Week and a half, I think.
Yeah.
The week of the 14th, March 14th.
And is it during the week?
Yep.
Yes.
Wow.
Basically a week-long thing.
My kids are on spring break that week.
Tuesday through Saturday of that week, on the 14th of March.
Mike,
got an
you
old
have
timer
the
or a
best
classic,
time of
you
your
have a
life
ball,
there.
Mike.
It is.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That'd be an easy week for me to be able to split out because my kids are out of school, so they'll be home. My wife works from home now because of, that thing. She hasn't been in the office in 2 years, so she's home. And if the kids are off school, it's in Tucson?
Yes. If you're going to compete, you need to get a hold of Calentine or one of those people, because I think the registration period's already up.
Yeah.
Is it? Okay.
They'll let you know.
John Calentine.
I've found if you get there, in fact, I went there and showed up unexpectedly and was still able to get signed up for it.
Oh, they'll let you fly if you show up late.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't
they'll
sure I was
try to
going to make it the
accommodate
last day.
The problem might be getting a place to stay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That could be the hard part.
That's
Take
the
your
fun
time.
part because a lot of baseball, they have the training camp of the Padres there, and a lot of people are staying in hotels to watch the Padres.
Even a base.
Well, Denny's going. I'll just bunk with Denny, man. That won't be a problem.
I'm already bunking with Wes, so he's a wild man. So
I can sleep in the bathtub, man.
alrighty.
Hey, one thing
good.
about it is there ain't no spring training, so there may be a lot of open.
Oh, that's true. And that's in Phoenix.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Sounds usually pretty easy to get a room, unless they're doing the gym, whatever event where they sell gemstones. Sometimes you can't get rooms if they're doing that, but who knows?
Thing to do would be call
Question.
some of them and see what is available. Make your reservation.
Yeah, see what Joe Gilbert's doing, Mike. 'Cause he usually goes.
Joe's going. Okay.
I don't know. I think I saw him there a couple of years ago. I think he goes there often. I think.
Yeah, he's
He does.
usually there. I don't know what's going to happen now. With this world champ year, I don't know if he would take off or bag off one year or not. But
It'll be interesting to see if that even happens.
Yeah.
ain't that the truth?
Yeah. What events do they fly? They fly everything and Pampa
No,
too?
They fly classic, old time, and Super 70s and Ringmasters.
And that's
So
it.
basically old stuff. Yeah.
Old stuff. Okay. All right.
No axiomas unless you can convince somebody it's a nobler. All right.
Vintage stunt.
Yes.
Well, I knew that. I knew it was vintage stunt, but I figured they'd throw everybody a bone on the last day and have a Pampa event,
No.
No.
Mike,
Not
have you
yet,
flown
they
that
haven't.
film yet?
Today.
Mike, today? How did it
Today.
fly? What?
Look at that smile on his face. Look at
Pretty
that
good.
smile. Look at that grin.
It's in one piece, man. It's still in one piece.
That's
important.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
That is nice. Did it fly as good as it looks?
yeah, I mean, I still got some work to do, but basically, what I did was just some 1.5 minute shakedown flights, just to see what was happening, and it was way too fast on the first flight, so we dialed it back a little bit, and it was still too fast. Third flight, got the lap times at 5.2. Of course, I was on the phone with my Romanian mobster connection, Tryan, while we were out there working on stuff. And
Mobster connection.
he talked me through it. So I got some work with the Jetty box and the programmer, and that was good to get some fidgeting, some on the field fidgeting and changing parameters while I was there. That all worked out okay. Got the lap times in. Originally had it on 62-foot lines. I ended up putting it on 64s and then dialing the speed in on 64s. And then after 4 1.5 minute flights, and my buddy Chris, my neighbor, he came with me. He was checking, tip levels for me. It was good both ways, upright and inverted. That was all good. I had plenty of line tension, even in the maneuvers. And then I ramped it up to 5.5 minutes and, flew a 5.5 minute batteries. I did not fly full pattern with it, not every maneuver, because where we fly at the RC field, there's a row of pine trees, and it started getting a little gusty, and the wind's coming over the top of the pines, and there were some
Going
rotors.
stupid. Yeah.
It was it was getting washy here and there. I could tell I was getting hit with turbulence. So I was pretty conservative, but I did reverse wing overs with it. I did inside loops, outside loops, triangles, inside squares. I didn't attempt outside squares because, like I said, it was turbulent, and just diving it down from the outside like that was a little unnerving. Didn't do anything up top, no overhead eights because of the way the wind was, no clover, absolutely no hourglass. So just, your basic maneuvers, and then some inverted flight too. It's a little twitchy. So from what I got from Mike Waldron, he put a bunch of lead in the nose of his and narrowed his line spacing down quite a bit until he got more comfortable with it, and then started taking some lead out of the nose to, get to where he needed to be. But I didn't get that far today. I had 6 flights, 4.5-minute flights and 2 5.5-minute flights. So I think I got the lead outs where they need to be. I think that's pretty good, but it's definitely going to take, more time. But all in all, very happy with it.
Cool.
I'll get there. But I got to tell you, man, my hands were shaking, man. First flight, I couldn't hardly put the damn battery in the thing and get it connected. Chris was like, "What's wrong with you, man? You're shaking like a dog shitting peach pits over here, man." And I was like, because my hands weren't working. I'm like, "Well, dude, I'm just nervous. I'm nervous." And he's like, "What are you nervous about? You fly anything. Yeah, I've seen you fly, and I can. I don't." I said in the back of my head, I think what it was, I wasn't worried about crashing the plane because I did something stupid. I was worried about a mechanical failure with the airplane. That's what I was worried about. Something happening with the airplane that was out of my control.
Yeah.
And then just looking at $2,000 sitting there in a pile, that's what I was worried about. I mean, that's the first time I've flown any airplane of that caliber, that expensive. So of course I was nervous. I got a big investment there, but
wait till they get
after the second minute and a half flight, I calmed down and I was okay. I was all right after that. It was just the first one though, man. I'm telling you, it was like the first time I had a boob in my hand when I was a teenager, man.
Lord help us. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm glad.
Well, you did say it was twitchy. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, brother.
Oh, boo hiss.
It'll get better.
I'll be glad when that part of the world settles down.
Charles, get us into the after party.
I'm telling you, it's about 2 minutes away. Just hang on, guys.
Are we still live? I'm sorry, Charles. I'm sorry. I thought we were in the after party. I wouldn't have.
For those of you who don't know any better, the after party gets even crazier than this.
Thank you very much.
Need to join so you can.
I got a question.
Come with us.
I got a question about the AMA. Is the memberships? I probably asked this before and just can't remember. Is the AMA from January to January or
no? Not anymore. It's the date you joined. Yeah, not anymore. It used to be January 1 to January 1, no matter when you join. Okay. But they stopped that a couple of years. So if you join today, your membership's good till March 2023.
So it's purchase to purchase whenever you.
Correct.
Yeah. Mine runs June to June.
Right.
Okay.
All right.
Charles, I have a little show and tell.
Oh, you do? Well,
a tiny one.
Tiny one? Okay, we can go a little bit over past 9. Go ahead. They make you big. Did you get my text, Tryon?
So I know I did probably I did this before, but I want to show you my block for the tail wheel. That it's just basically lamination of 1/16 sheet in the center, and I have 164 on the outside, and then balsa wood. This
Right.
whole thing weighs about 2 grams exactly.
Wow.
And this block of balsa, you can easily put it inside the back of a fuselage. You know, probably have a panel here, you can butt it against it like that, and on the bottom. And all I have inside is this kind of a shape on the 116 plywood, and the rest is just square laminations on the outside. It's kind of like it has become my go-to tail wheel assembly lately.
Good.
And,
I like those.
I'll take 4.
Yeah.
I'll take 4, Tryon.
So, sure. Yeah.
Have you been doing anything with the carbon fiber plate?
Yeah, I'm actually joining the fuselage right now. I'm just like right here. It's in the prep right now. The fuselage, the nose of the fuselage is ready to go. Right now, I'm working on the backside. I'm gathering my parts. So this is one block that's going to go on the backside. It's for the tail wheel, obviously, right?
Right.
And then after that, I have the
That went right over.
I have to make a piece of foam that goes on the bottom. And as you can see, I have my notes here. And this is the piece I have to make. Just take some measurements and cut it out. Okay. And the tail wheel is going to be inserted right here in it, because it's like a 3-piece kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, I showed something last time around when we were on a show, Steve.
Yeah, though that show was terrific. That it came out excellent. There was no problems, no tearaways.
Did
no
you
nothing.
figure out what was going on with it coming out of the mold?
Yeah. Yes, I did. Yeah. Look, Steve.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, absolutely gorgeous.
And it's all painted in a mold. That's, I mean, you run your fingers like that, you can't feel anything. So
it's nice.
So what was the problem with it hanging up in the mold? Did you have to change the mold release, or?
no, I did not change anything. So what was the problem with that is that I had, when I mixed my resin improperly, I had some of it, you know, it would not cure, right? So I used some lacquer thinner to wipe it down, because that worked the best. I mean, the lacquer thinner really took it down without scratching anything and doing any kind of damage, right? So after that, I just I said, well, let's make another part, and I forgot about it completely. So I think the lacquer thinner attacked the release system.
Oh, okay.
And removed some of it.
Right.
I mean, the mold was shiny enough to let the part go, right? But because of the other part, you know, just like that's, you know, this was my screw up.
What?
And I have another one, quick and dirty, right? So the problem is that when you have a leading edge like this and you put a sheet of balsa on top of it and you vacuum bag it, it likes to drag over this edge, right, until it gets in place, right? So it kind of spins and drags in here. And if you have material inside the mold that's laying over like that, this sheet here, it grabs the material and drags it on the side of the surface, and really is nasty, right? It's a pain in the ass. So I said, and I saw a video of some guys doing some training or somewhere, you know, in which they show you, like in any composite video, they show in 5 minutes what they did in a week or so, right? And I saw them over there. I saw some of their foam material already. They had a bunch of cuts on the edges, and they were all already shaped. And I was like, oh, you know. So I'm stealing ideas from them all the time. And one of the ideas that I got from that video is that molded shells. They already formed the foam before they even put them inside the mold. So after that, I said, how the hell are they doing that? Because there's no explanation. They just show that it's there, and that's it. And if you look for information anywhere else, it's, you know, it's ghost land. Nobody tells you crap.
I know, I've experienced that before.
It's modem up random for composite form, right? So I said, first of all, I took a piece of foam and I hit it with my heat gun and I warp it like that by hand, hit it with a heat gun, and sure thing, it stayed there. It stayed in position. And then I said, how am I going to hold it? I tried to put it like that in a mold, nothing on top of it, and I tried to shape it like that. I got somewhat got the job done, but I wasn't happy with it. It wasn't as best as I wanted to be. And then I decided to get it inside the vacuum bag. So I took my mold, I put my piece inside of it, and I put it in a vacuum bag. I pulled the part all the way down, right? And I set my heat gun to about 500 degrees, and I did like a paint job, just like that. You should do a paint job. And look at this. I mean, you cannot probably see it, but if I do this.
Wow, yeah. Wow.
Wow.
Very nice.
What kind of foam?
See that?
That Rio shell.
What kind of foam?
Raw cell.
Raw cell?
Yep. You see, it's
Wow,
formed.
look at that.
And it
Look
has
at
the
that.
perfect shape because if you drop it in here, in a mold, in its actual position, boom.
It just
Right
lays in position. Cool.
So you just vacuum
Very
bag
cool.
it and heat it, and then
That's it.
Then
That's it.
All right.
Very
And I
nice.
was so super happy about it because that solves so many problems that I had before. Especially when you put this stuff, like you have 4 pieces, they go together. You put them in a bag, and if the bag touches the fiberglass on the top of it, it's gonna grab the fiberglass and peel it all the way off, you know. And it's gonna give you it's a mess, right? It's very hard to handle, and then you have to worry about that this piece grabbing off of the edge like this, and as it moves backwards and into the position, it also grabs the material that you put over here on the outside skin, and it wants to bunch it together over there around the leading edge. And you have all kind of just like ugly places, and it's hard to handle, right? But by having it formed like that, you can just lay it inside the mold, and it's gonna stay there. It's not going anywhere. It's almost like a hands-free operation at that point.
Don't you use
dummy-proof? I can do the same thing on the fuselage.
Don't you use Teflon film between the parts of the mold and parts in the bag, rather?
No, nothing. I just use the bag. I don't care if I burn the bag.
Not for that operation. I'm talking for the bagging operation, Fred.
When you finish it, when you're
The
doing
final operation.
the final.
Part. Don't you use Teflon film between the parts and the vacuum bag?
No. No, I don't use anything. Between my parts and the vacuum bag, there's nothing when you're talking about like a peel ply kind of thing. No, I don't use any of that.
You might try that.
Why? Why complicate things? The vacuum bag is releasing very nicely off of the part.
As you wish.
When I put the resin on the inside of on the fiberglass layer, which is inside the wing, my roller is so dry, you know. I have a hard time I have to push it real hard to just get it to wet out, right? So I don't have any excess resin. I don't need to suck out the excess resin. That's pretty much the reason for that. And I don't need any complication after that. When you grab this stuff and you peel it off, right, you're running a risk of grabbing the edge of the part and just delaminate it. And now when you join the parts, resin is going to get in through the tiny little crack. Trust me, it's going to get in through there, and it's going to look crappy on the outside of the part. It's only troubles. So yeah, if you make a part that's with lots of layers and it's heavy layout and stuff like that, it will work with that because it's heavy layer and it has the thickness, right? But my stuff is very, it's a little bit on a delicate side, but I don't build it to crash it. I build it to fly it and have maximum performance out of it, right? So for that, I want light parts and well made parts. So that's my logic to this.
So you start on your second plane now to take there with you? Aren't you taking two or?
Yeah, I'm taking two. Yeah. This one is just about done. All I have to do is just join the fuselage and the nose, and after that, I have all the parts. I'm ready to assemble.
And then you're gonna do one for your friend or something, or?
Yeah, two more.
Two more.
But I'm excited about this part of it, man. It's just because things become stupid easy at this point, right? and I'm just super happy for the results. I mean, the results are incredible.
I haven't.
Wow, I have made my life a living hell all this time by just sheer decision, right? and this also opens the door on a fuselage that's built with a different layout inside, which is yet lighter than what I have right now. I mean, I can probably make the back of the fuselage now just so much lighter. It's going to be more expensive, but you know. That's the price you pay for performance, man. You always pay with money. So yeah, I could definitely do the same exact layout that I have in the wings right now, you know, for the fuselage, as a matter of fact.
I haven't made molded airplanes for the World Championship 30 years.
Mm-hmm. You haven't made?
I haven't made on molded composite airplanes in the World Championships for. Namely, I'm not a.
Your mic is breaking up a little bit, Howard. We get most of the words.
You're not missing.
Yeah, I do. I didn't get it because I was breaking down.
That's okay.
Let me end the show, you guys. We can continue on in the after party. I want to thank everybody for showing up and coming in, and appreciate the show and tell. Thank you very much, Brian, and thank you, John Miller, for the show and tell of the Mark III Pathfinder. Appreciate that immensely. Let me see here. Just for a recap, at the height of our audience, we've had as many as 23 people watching us. But, you know, in 24 hours, it gets up to like 150, 170, and then it just keeps growing and growing. And we have 16 likes. We have one new member to our YouTube membership. And like I said, only costs $4.99 a month. Comes out of my checking account every month, the $4.99. I don't miss it. I don't think you'll miss it either. And we'll be back Monday. So I don't know what your weather's like. Where I'm living here, it's actually storming and it's rainy. So I'm not going to be doing any flying. Hopefully get some building done. But do some flying, do some building, come back Monday. There's some feedback for some reason, but I'll just continue. Do all that and come back and share it with us Monday. So thank you very much for tuning in. We'll be back